Welcome back, fellow scrubs. This is Mark D. Wiz, your host of Game Dev Scrubs, and we're working on Pack Fighter EX today, which is a community-based game not affiliated with Capcom or SNK. By the fans, for the fans. It's free. You can get it up on GameJolt.com right now. And not this version that you see today, but unfortunately, much older version at this point. Anyway, sorry I'm late. Actually had a lost chicken today. He didn't come in at night, and I couldn't find where he was. And no one else seemed to have seen him, but I think I finally found him up in a tree, and he's sitting with a hen. So I guess he must have made a girlfriend, and he decided he didn't want to come in tonight. He wants to sit in the tree with the tree hen. So I've been looking for him for a little while. If you're wondering where I was. That's alright, he's safe up there. They're really well insulated, so even when it gets cold in the winter, they don't... I wouldn't say that it doesn't bother them necessarily, but their feathers keep them real warm, and they sit on their legs, so they keep their whole body warm. And they're safe up in the tree, nothing's really going to get them up there, so... Guess I'm not too worried about him. He's a big boy now, he can go where he wants. If you don't want to come back inside at night, then I guess that's his decision, right? So, alright, what are we working on today? We're not working on chickens. So, yeah, maybe one day chicken stream, right? But until then, not so much. So, if you saw the tweet or the Go Live notification, you'll know we're working on Interpolation. So what the hell is Interpolation? Essentially, and you may or may not see it here, but the scrolling of the screen has gotten smoother. There's no more pixel wobble. And so what I mean by pixel wobble is, I picked the stage specifically because it would generate a lot of it normally. I'll actually turn it off and then I'll show you what it looks like. And I think you'll understand when you see it. Pay attention to the stripes here. I'm hoping this comes through the video compression, because the video compression might actually mask it. But if you walk here, look at... Man, it's really hard to see, isn't it? Even if you look on the bottom. This is a terrible example. Geez, you really can't see it too well, can you? It's funny. Essentially, any alternating pixel lines are going to kind of bob or shimmer. You can see it mostly in the straight lines here. If you look at the straight lines, you can kind of see it happening there. Yeah, so the interpolation blurs it a little, right? Yeah, chat knows what's up. If you've been here for the Retro Mansion stream, you know what I'm talking about. Let me change the stage. I thought this one would be a bit more pronounced than it is. But we'll have to try a different one. So, Neo Geo World would be a good one. Or the Lions might be alright. This is pretty much just a solid screen. So non-scrolling segments of the screen, and what I mean by that, like non-parallax segments, are usually the ones that are going to show the most. So try to look at the straight lines and the size of the pixels on the straight lines. Or even like in this pattern here. When the screen scrolls, you can kind of see a little bit of a wobble. Kind of almost like they're... kind of like they're changing shape in the background. It's sometimes a bit hard to see. If I turn down the resolution and then zoom in, you might be able to see it a little better. So let's pause. Here, see how this pixel looks thinner than this pixel? This column of pixels is definitely thinner looking. And I'll take a screenshot and blow it up so you can really see it. Excuse me. this pixel column is bigger than this one. You can see it right here. So especially if I color it like a different color, like we'll make it green, right? And look, there's a disparity between them. And this is what causes pixel shimmer or pixel wobble, whatever you want to call it. This column on the screen is always going to be the same size, and the one next to it's always going to be the same size. So when the pixels from this part move on to here, they appear as though they're changing shape. You can see it on pretty much any pattern, although some are easier. More contrasted colors are easier to see. But watch, once this moves, right there, now it got bigger, and this one is small. So what happens is when you're scrolling, you can see the, let me blow it up a little bit more, to 2x. You can see the deformation happening. And if it's not as pronounced in a fighting game, because the screen's not always moving at a correct or constant speed, right? It's not pleasing to look at, yeah. It's more like if it was in Mega Man, you'd see it a bit more because Mega Man's always walking at like a certain speed, and you're always kind of running and scrolling. In a fighting game, not always. You know, you're bipping and dipping, and sometimes it scrolls a little bit, kind of fast, and it's a little hard to see. And then in the center, it doesn't scroll, so you don't see it, you don't notice it as much. And I've actually not gotten any complaints about it, which is kind of funny. But I think that's more due to the movements of the fighting game itself. But you can definitely see it if you're looking for it. So that's the problem, right? That's pixel wobble. So how do we solve pixel wobble? Well, we do something called interpolation. And interpolation, I will turn it on, and then excuse me, choking on my own spit, as per usual. Say interpolation mode, I'm gonna change it to, well, change it to soft first. This is an option that I've already included in Pocket Fighter EX. You can get this option already in the current public build. And it smooths out all that in the background, but everything's all blurry now. So if you zoom in, what I do, 2x, to look at the pixels here, they don't wobble. They are now blurred, but they don't wobble. They're seemingly a constant size. And that's because it takes that small image of the game. Actually, I'll leave it maximized. Because the game is normally this big. This is the game screen. And when it blows it up, it uses a filter, which blurs all those pixels together. Not very pleasing to the eye. Some people have a nostalgic affinity for this kind of filter. That's why I included it to begin with. Some games back in the day used it on PC and other applications. So some people have some nostalgic view of that. And that's okay. It's all about player choice here, right? So we have that. But now, what if we could merge the two ideas? What if we could have big, nice, sharp pixels, but we could essentially use this filtering process to fix the pixel wobbling? And that's what interpolation sharp mode does. So now, if you're looking, you don't see the pixel wobble. But the pixels look sharp, so what's going on? Right? It's weird. How did you get the best of both worlds? If we zoom in here, you'll see the secret. Look. Only the edges are filtered. The edges between pixels. You can see it between the high contrast areas, especially. Between the light blue and the dark blue. There's a shade in between. You see that? And the same thing up here. They look relatively uniform. Now if you zoom in, you can see that they're technically not uniform. But the blurring all the way at 1:1 scale looks like it is. It's indistinguishable, pretty much. if you were to flip between the sharp mode and the interpolated sharp mode, you would see the difference slightly, but it's so negligible it wouldn't really, you wouldn't even think about it. If I showed you quickly two pieces of footage from it, you might not have been, or screenshots, you may never even be able to tell the difference. So why change it then? Change what exactly? I'm not sure I understand the question. So now Pixel Wobble's gone, and the game just runs very smoothly, and it looks really good. Like, fix the pixel blur. Like, fix the pixel blur. Alright, I'm dumb. Can you restate the question in full, with like full context? I'm sorry, I'm just not, I guess I'm not understanding exactly what you're asking. Just give me the full sentence with everything. And instead of like, yeah, no, it's not your fault. I'm probably just not picking up on it. But instead of like saying like it, like to actually fill in what the subject is or what you want to talk about. I'm very bad with context clues. As far as I can tell, there's not much of a performance hit for having this filter either, so I'm very happy about that at least. And I'll explain how I went and achieved it in a minute. Why fix the interpolation to make it look smoother when it's really minor? Because you can still notice it, and it bugs me when I see it. And I want the viewing experience to be as clean as possible. Now, on high-resolution games, you don't need to do this. It's only low resolution. And the reason is because the whatever resolution you're playing at may not be a smooth scale from what the original is. So, high goals make sense. It's something I've always wanted to add, I just wasn't sure how to do it until now. And then I had to do it. I definitely had to do it for Retro Mansion game. Like I said, it's a little harder to notice in Pocket Fighter EX because of the scrolling speeds and in fact the camera's not always moving at a consistent speed and stuff. But on some levels you can kind of notice more than others. And it's still kind of weird and bothersome when once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? Mark says, even though I can't see it, I know it's there. Therefore, it must be destroyed. Pretty much. I've noticed it myself, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That doesn't look quite right. So you'll notice it on certain resolutions more than others. But, and in certain stages more than others. But you definitely saw it in the platform game that I'm working on. Because, again, the constant scrolling speed of walking around, you know, you get that. The old filter gives off emulator vibes. Yeah, a lot of emulators use the old bilinear filter. Like I said, some people are nostalgic for it, and, you know, that's cool, that's fine. If you want to put it on, you know, there's no reason not to include it, right? Don't lose sleep over it, dude. Loses all sleep over it, dude. I've been going nuts about these filters for like a month now. Let's see. Chat says I missed some streams. Anything big you have talked about last 2 streams? What did we even do last stream? Oh. We were experimenting with, that's right, man, I forgot about it. Oh, yeah, not all the cameras are depth to the system, by the way, so I've got to go and use the editor view and change character. We'll fix that. That's definitely something we're going to fix today. And I'll show you how all that works. Yeah, Terry's faint cancels. We're experimenting with it. I'm not 100% sure exactly how I want this to work, but The idea is that you can cancel into a feint. So when you're in power max, you can do a fake attack to get somebody to jump, maybe, and you can cancel into that feint. So let's say that they actually guard it, right? Oh, that's bad. Damn, it doesn't work like that anymore. Oh, you know why I lengthened the animation? I lengthened the animation, so it might not actually be too safe anymore. Like at range, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. I guess not. I guess it does. I guess it doesn't. But what you can do, is you can use it to. Again, experimental. You can use it to cancel one attack into another. So you cancel this into the feint, and then the feint can cancel back out. Like that. Something like that, right? Goro flashbacks, yeah. I don't know if it's too powerful or not yet. A couple things I tried to stem the abuse of doing this into feint into that by not allowing the feint to cancel back into this. However, then I ended up with a feint run cancel, and so that means that you can feint run cancel into this, and so I think it's still possible to yeah, it's still possible to do it. And that's basically an infinite. Now it does take some of your max time off to do that, so it will eventually wear off. But the problem is if you stock too, it's a little tough to get now. But it's yeah. You see the problem though, right? Eventually it will run out. But if you've got another stock in the middle of this, you can just do it again and keep it up. And I've done a full. I actually performed the full thing, starting without a combo hit, and doing it, and it was like almost 50% damage. Looks like a Goro combo. Yeah, right. I don't know, since I've had some practice with it, testing it, it feels alright to use. I feel there's a couple issues with it. There's one is that it lets you do shit that, like, is super wild, right? Like, there's, like, no way that you would be able to do crazy shit like that. Maybe it's a little too powerful, maybe it's not. The other thing I think of the execution is a bit much. I don't think the average player is going to even be able to utilize these at all, which makes me a little wary about including them. But Terry still does have this Power Max mode exclusive move. It doesn't disappear yet, it still gets stuck, but maybe that'll be enough, that casual players will care about. I don't want to get, like, too in the weeds with it. Because if you put something in that only the advanced players can use at all, people are just going to ignore the mechanic, you know what I mean? Every fighting game has at least one thing broken. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to stem that a little bit. But I think that the run cancel makes a lot of sense, though. Because it does give a little more variety to it. I mean, otherwise, you can... like, you can do this, and that's cool, I guess. Pretty much Marvel games, yeah. Well, I don't want to be like Marvel. I don't know, there's some cases where it's, like, really good, but, there's other cases that it just doesn't really feel that good either. I don't know. I think the Real Bout games did it in a way that are more accessible. In what way do you mean? Girl is pretty execution heavy. It is, yeah. There's some cases too, like here, you could just do that. I mean, you don't have to feint cancel. This is just special cancelable. It's fine. And for lights, like, it's basically useless. Like, by the time that you cancel out of that, like into something else, it's not gonna matter. So it's really only super good for heavy to heavy kind of things. It's arguable whether or not it would be optimal anyway. So, like, it feels broken, but it doesn't at the same time, if that makes any sense. The best thing I think about it is that you can get into a sweep, like, super easy. You know, and then since sweeps are also cancelable, you know, you could do, let's see, what do I want to do? Yeah, like that. And be, like, super safe about it. You know? The way the Real Bout combos work, you have a big window for the feint cancel. Yeah. Here it's a little hard. I think Real Bout's probably a little bit slower in those terms, so it's hard to compare them like that. Chat asks, who is your favorite character in the game right now? Ryu, Terry, Ken, and your favorite to play? I think Ryu is my favorite right now. And that just might be bias. I like them all. I think they all got cool qualities to them. But I think Ryu is my favorite currently. This one's hard to do. There. Yeah, and it doesn't really allow you to do too much. It would be cool if you could just get into this quickly. Because then you could knock it back. This is a knockback. It could get you some ground, right? I don't know. I mean, and also obviously max cancels work somewhat similar. This one just kind of works multiple times. But the real heavy bit here is doing it from that. And that's the bit I want to focus on. I think that's got the most potential right there. Having the feint available from power charge, and then being able to, like, do whatever you want from there. See, you can just stop it if you want. And since you can cancel the feint into anything, you know, after that point, you can do a lot of stuff, right? How do you feel about infinites in your game, or just at all? They definitely don't fit in this game, and I specifically designed the game in a way that should discourage infinites from happening. So most things like wall bounces and stuff have to use a bit of your super meter. And, you know, like, you could potentially, you know, hit like 3 in a row or whatever, but good luck. You know, maintaining that. You're gonna eventually run out of meter, right? So you won't be able to do that. And same thing with ground bounces. You can't do 2 in a row and without a max activation. And the same thing with wall bounces. So if I do this, see that he doesn't bounce the second time. Finger breaking intensifies. I don't think infinites are good for a game like this. There is potentially an argument to be made that in games that are crazy like Marvel, that in a game like CVS, or not CVS 2, but Marvel 2, where pretty much everybody has an infinite, it actually levels out the tier list instead of widening the gap. If everybody's got an infinite and everybody's overpowered, then the differences between characters and the viability between characters kind of diminish. You could almost use anybody. And at that point, it kind of comes down to what tools does that character have to be able to catch others in certain situations, but not whether or not their damage output is viable, because if everybody has an infinite, everybody's damage output is viable. And that kind of opens up the door to being able to experiment and use characters that might not have been considered viable at one point. I still don't like infinites, but I can logically agree with that as being a legitimate thing, you know? So it's interesting to think about, though I personally wouldn't want to create a game with infinites. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, I think, is another notable example where everybody's got an infinite. In fact, they've got an infinite that's so infinite that you can catch the other character coming out after the first one dies, and there's nothing they can do about it. And you have free reign to just infinite them as well from the first character, comboed into the second character into a kill. It could just literally be one combo ends the game. Should I go watch your Twitch? You can watch on Twitch too. Everything's all the same. Yeah, it's the same on YouTube as Twitch. It's the same stream. I just stream on both platforms for everybody's convenience. I think YouTube's a pretty decent streaming platform too. And for viewers with less than ideal internet speeds, the YouTube version of the stream is actually much nicer to lower bandwidth users. You can change the quality on the fly. Twitch sometimes decides to give me that and sometimes doesn't, and I think it regulates the stream less well than YouTube does. So if you ever get any stuttering or the bitrate's a little too high, just go to YouTube and turn the quality settings down, and then you'll be able to view it, you know, just nice. I'm still getting used to this one. So one thing I was thinking about, since a lot of times I'll just cancel, and this is why I added the run cancel, by the way, was for this, so that you could go and do something, right? Yeah, either way, whether you watch on Twitch or YouTube, it's all right. There's no big difference to me, at least. Since a lot of times you're just going to run cancel it anyway, that's why I added it, by the way, to give a little more flexibility on that. I've wondered about not needing the heavy punch, heavy kick, you know, here to cancel it and then to run. It's okay, but it kind of comes off to me as a little complicated. I know that's basically an FADC, but like, as someone who's traditionally had problems doing FADC in real matches consistently, I kind of feel like maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe it's just a little bit too wonky. So I was wondering if maybe if you just double tapped on that specific one, then maybe you could just get the run cancel and it wouldn't matter. I mean, we can test that right now. I talked a little bit on Discord about it. So, where is game? Fighters. Fighters, Terry. So what I think I'm gonna do here is, oh, I called it break, right? Yeah. I think that's what they call it in Garou. So I'm gonna say, oh, what are we gonna call it? Power, charge, cancel. And what I can do here is, well, first of all, we have to add it to the list, right? So duplicate this, add the power charge cancel version into here. It didn't come out there. And then we want to edit this, and not only, well, you know what we need to do? We need to just make it a run cancel. That's what we need. Yeah, actually, we don't need that file to do that. I was just wondering, so it might be on Twitch. Oh yeah, can't wait for hashtag Pod Gaming. Wait, what's Pod Gaming? I don't think I need this. I'm gonna delete this file here. Yay. And then I'll delete this one. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm just going to add a run cancel to hitboxes here, to power charge. Oh, but it can only happen in Power Max though. I mean, just watching you play the game. Oh yeah. Dude, once the online works, I'll be playing everybody. I think I'm the #1 person wanting the online working in this game just to play people. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to here, command run, or the command run. I'm actually gonna duplicate that. And I'm going to say, Cherry power charge run cancel. And I'm going to say that it's a specific cancel only. And we're going to leave the rest here. Oh, and only available in max mode. Yeah. Oh, and also don't let it turn around, because it's specifically canceling out of a thing. Okay, so if I'm gonna pause the game here, it might be a little unhappy if I'm moving stuff around in the meantime. So if I go command moves, right? Let's see, moves here. No, it's just a normal command, so I'm going to move it from here to here. Go into the hierarchy, duplicate the run entry, and Terry run. Okay, and then now I have to go to the hitboxes. It has to be in the hierarchy here, or it won't know what priority to place it in. And then if I go to the hitboxes, now we can add it without worrying about it. Because it will only activate when they're in Power Max mode. Let's see, cancel properties here. So instead of break, no, we'll leave break in combo, but we'll add Terry run cancel. And that should allow him to just run, double tap, and get through it. That's what I'm hoping. I think that would be a nice shortcut, right? What's this game's music gonna be like? Here, you know what? If you haven't tried it yet, hold on. Here's the older version. That's got the music that we're working with. So, Maxi Demand is composing new arrangements for all the fighters for this game. And they're composed in a like a CPS2 style. So if you know what that means, like Alpha 2, Alpha 3, Alpha 1, those kind of games, Marvel, it's got that kind of sound to it. So like the old X-Men vs Street Fighter, stuff like that. Oh, that's not supposed to be the X. Oh, that didn't work? Oh, there we go. I did it too early. Yeah, that feels much better. Yeah. I think it's a little fast because he doesn't pause for the 5 frames the break animation would give. But I do like just being able to double tap in there, right? Oop. I could give it a bit bigger of a window if I wanted to. Yeah, we're doing rollback. That's what I'm working on right now for online. That's why it's taking so damn long. Will the game have character themes or stage themes? Character themes. Here, alright. I guess like nobody's ever checked it out. Hold on. Let me I'll turn the music on. Yeah. Or not that one. Hold on. Here, I usually have it silent so that the playlist would play. Sound here. I guess about that, right? This is a track from Street Fighter EX. But the rest of it, like this music, this is from the actual game. This was composed by Maxi Demand. So, let's do Ken's theme first.
Let's party!
This one's my favorite so far. I think it sounds really good. Combo video music. Yeah, it really is, right? No, Maxi did an incredible job on this. So here. Do reuse next. This one's got kind of a bit of an Alpha 3 vibe to it. I really like it. My predisposition for music is more towards like Marvel 1. But I let Maxi just kind of to just do it up. You know, how he thought it should be done, and I was very happy with the result for this one. Can't reach him. Ah. Oh, screw it. Man, I'm missing the half circle. Missing the. There. It doesn't work. Whatever. There's your combo. I'm working out the Super Nintendo controller today. The other one, the battery died, and I don't know where the charge cable is, so that's what we're doing today. Super Nintendo controller is not bad, mind you, but I'm definitely not used to using it for a fighting game, at least. So, and then that leaves Paris.
Face it straight!
I mean, what else could it be for Terry, right? You could sing his vocal theme? He has a vocal theme? Terry's song itself. Yeah, Terry's was the first one actually, I think, that that Maxi did, and he submitted that, and I was just like, perfect. Tell me what the whoop points are, and we're gonna throw it right in. Like it's perfect. I just need to know what the time codes are for the whooping points, and we're good. I feel bad beating up Terry to Terry's music, but unless it's a mirror match, the song, it's always the opponent. So in a normal match, Big Shot is a vocal thing? Really? I've only heard the KOF version, I think. No, I've heard the Fatal Fury 3 version. But that was, I don't remember vocals in that one. At least not in the MVS version. Maybe like the Sega CD version, if there was one? Or Neo Geo CD? You can actually see Terry going into guard fatigue here. That's what the red block sparks are about. And he takes a lot of chip damage when you're in guard fatigue, as you can see, and even normals do chip damage. Very dangerous situation. K-Dash? He's not a confirmed character. I do like him a lot. Probably got a decent chance of making it in at some point. But, don't know when that would be. I like K, because he's not like a full-on clone, like his story is a clone, but his moves are very different. Can't say the same for all the actual Kyo clones. I think they're pretty redundant. Clones in fighting games? What do you mean by clone, right? Here, let me turn all that down. You actually hear what I'm saying. Clones in fighting games, depends on what you mean. Like, do you consider Ryu and Ken clones? I mean, if that's the case, that's absolutely fine. For sure. What did I turn this one all the way down? Yeah. Oh yeah, and we got music here, so. This is from the actual Pocket Fighter. How about that? Like Ryu and Ken are as clones, if you want to call them that, where they have similar moves, but you know, some differences here or there. That's okay. Like, I'm okay with that. I think that's nice to have, especially characters like Ken and Ryu that are kind of like the standard all-rounders, to give them different attributes to kind of fit. How do I want to say? I just want to switch these two. I'll keep it random this way. Because Ryu is the standard character in Street Fighter, and the standard character is going to be popular, I think it kind of makes sense to a degree, maybe not so much like game design wise, but audience wise, to have a variation of that in the game, so that there's more options for players that are just getting in. It's like, oh, you learned Ryu? Well, it's not that much different to learn the moves for Ken, so he's got a few different ones here and there. And, you know, and maybe all his supers are different, and he's got a different special move, and he doesn't have one that Ryu has. And so, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, maybe up to eight or nine moves that are different. But there's still that foundation for the player to already, like, okay, you already know Ryu, so we don't have to teach you a brand new character from scratch. Kind of like know some of the basic ideas, you know, that the other character had, so just like go with it. And I think it's a little more fun for casual players, especially to figure that out instead of starting from scratch. That makes sense. So that's okay. I don't get too mad at that. And in fact, I do like Ken and Ryu and Akuma and Sakura and Dan and Sean and all them. So like, I don't know. I guess I'm a Shoto lover. So I guess that is what it is. You hate me for that, and you know, whatever, I guess. Some people don't like all the Shotos. I think the Shotos are kind of cool, but you know. Nobody's confirmed past the first 8 here. It should be Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Guile, Kioi, Ori, Terry, and Mai. And then from there, we're just kind of winging it. We'll see if we can even get that far, right? You like SNK Shotos? You mean like Rio and Robert and stuff? Not as much. It could just be a personality thing. Also, their moves are a little harder to pull off, and a little different. I don't know. Not as enthused with them. SNK clones feel more clonish. I was just thinking that. I was trying to think of like, how do I segue this into like SNK clones? Because I'm thinking, and I don't like SNK clones as much. I'm trying to think, number one, kind of like, why is that? But you might be right. They may be like, I think there's two reasons. So like with the Kyo clones, we've got a situation where it's literally the same visual of the character with a different color, but they have kind of like a mix match version of special moves from Kyo, and like one of them's kind of like his old, 95 moveset, and to contrast his new moveset, right, from 98 and 99, which is pretty similar. And then, but then you've got like the weird variants that are just kind of like a mishmash of moves and ideas, and they don't look visually distinct. Obviously, they're literally in the story. They're DNA clones of Kyo, so they're just not like that interesting, right? Even at like a narrative level. So for me, that's just decreases the interest all around for that. It's not like it's Kyo and Evil Kyo. Like the same character but different take on him. Now Kusanagi is literally Evil Kyo. He's one of the clones that survived, I guess, the whole incident, and then he became kind of a vengeful little dick. And he ended up being the KOF 95 move list for Kyo going forward. They kept the old Kyo moveset as Kusanagi. They gave the 98 variant, like in 13. Kusanagi didn't show up in 13, but like there's EX Kyo, which is him with the white jacket. That's got his 98, one. So they kind of have this theme of keeping the old moveset with an alternate version of the character. I think Kusanagi is probably the weakest version of that, just like narratively, because he's just basic clone. He's basically the Kage of SNK. Is really what he is. In terms of like what role in the story he plays, almost nothing. Basically, he just kind of doesn't do anything interesting or noteworthy. He's just kind of the evil Kyo, and he's there and he's got a different moveset, like, and that's it. I don't find that interesting at all. The other clones are unnamed random clones with gibberish movesets. I don't like those either. They don't look any visually distinct. There's different colors. Like, this comes off as like the laziest, right? When there's no difference, there's just different colors. Sometimes you just get that. Like Ryu and Evil Ryu, he's literally the same character. So, like, I guess that's okay. But like Kusanagi and Kyo are not the same character. One's a literal clone, like a DNA clone in the story. They could have given him a different outfit, but they didn't, because obviously they just wanted to reuse the sprites and put more Kyo variants in. But you could have given him a different visual. And in fact, in I guess in the later games, this is still true in 99. Because Kyo got the white jacket, and then Kusanagi's got the original outfit. I don't know, it's just weird. You figure, like, why would the clone be wearing the school outfit of the person that they cloned him from for any reason other than they needed to just reuse the artwork to save time? I don't know. It's just really weird. You know what I mean? In the manga, Kusanagi uses Ignis clones? I don't know. I don't know anything about all the extra media stuff for it. Like, I don't know. Evil Ryu kind of makes sense because it's it's a what-if version of the character, and I'm okay with that, right? Oh, he's a hybrid between the two? Oh, okay, gotcha. I think, I don't know, Street Fighter 4 had a pretty good interpretation of Evil Ryu. I think his dialogue was over the top. Like, his voice lines and stuff are like way too in the other direction. I get that he's like taken over by the Satsui no Hado, but like, for Ryu to have that heel turn into being just like a rambling lunatic, I think that's like going a little too hard. I think Street Fighter 4 messed up a lot of characterization like that. But I do somewhat like the visual of it. They made him look markedly different from normal Ryu in Street Fighter 4. But I think the personality of like Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 Evil Ryu is probably the one that makes the most sense. And then let's see, what other clones are there? Well, you did mention Iori and Evil Iori. Yeah, the problem I have with that is that Orochi Ori almost has no difference except for like his stance animation. And sure, you could go back to like Alpha 2 Evil Ryu and be like, oh, well, they literally have the same thing, they're just different. Actually, I think there is a stance difference. Doesn't he have Akuma's stance, right? In Alpha 3? Got Akuma's open palm thing. Hey Darius, what's up? Let me think. Because Orochi Ori has like, the moves aren't different. They're all the same moves. He just looks slightly different while doing them. And yeah, he's got better frame data or whatever, but that's kind of like, that's boring, right? He has Akuma's stance on Marvel 1 when you switch to Akuma mode. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I guess it must be normal in Alpha 2. Yeah, Alpha 2 Evil Ryu was the beginning, yeah. That was the first time he was included in the game. And it's funny because in the Japanese version, it doesn't say Evil Ryu, it just says Ryu. So it's kind of, it's interesting. The difference between that, the English actually spells out Evil Ryu, but the Japanese versions always just say Ryu. I don't know about the modern games, but the old ones did that. Then, yeah, so Orochi Ori, I kind of feel that about him, where he's just, he looks exactly the same, or he's got exactly the same moves, they're just, like, better frame data. Like, that's super boring. Give him something different, right? It's more of an install than a different character. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, if I were to do an Orochi Ori, I think I wouldn't, number one, just to preface it, would be a long shot. I just don't feel too interested in adding a character that's almost like a complete clone like that, but if I did, I'd probably try anything I could think of to make him different. I'd just not have him resemble the normal Orochi Ori. And just for that reason, because he really just feels like an install. I wonder about if CVS2 did anything interesting with him. After Alpha 2, Evil Ryu had a couple extra moves. Yeah. Like he had Raging Demon. I think he had that in Alpha 2 though. Give him the claw moves from 13. I was thinking of that. But Orochi Ori, the entire thing is that the Orochi power is overtaking him. So, like, he would use the flames potentially even more instead of using flameless attacks. So, I don't know. That might be a case where I might just be like, you know what, we're just going to come up with something to make it interesting, instead of following the script on that. I think people might be mad at that, though. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head what I would really do with that. Yuri has so many moves, you can easily make 2 movesets. Maybe. That's what I was thinking. You could pull some sources from other stuff. Super moves for sure. He's got so many super moves. You could definitely use some of the more savage-looking ones. Or even, arguably, some of the more nonsense-looking ones in Orochi form. I kind of think back to like Orochi Shermie and normal Shermie are like completely different characters. Like completely. Like Orochi Shermie's like a zoner and normal Shermie's like a grappler. So it's very strange that Orochi Ori ended up just being Iori with better frame data. obviously in different looks. Very weird. I'd have to really think about what to do with that, but I think it would be possible to come up with something neat. Yeah, the Orochi New Faces team are entirely different characters. Yeah, they are. They really are. Maybe Yashiro might be the closest one to his normal counterpart, but the other ones are completely different. Like Chris gets the flames, Shermie gets her like little zoning orbs and shit. It's all messed up. I was really surprised when I was looking at it too. I was like, oh my god, they don't even share like any moves. Like what? Instead, they're literally just completely different characters. Which makes me wonder, like, if we ever did put Shermie in, and you wanted to give her, like, a Power Max mode, would you just give her something from Orochi Shermie's toolkit? It would just be normal Shermie, but with, like, one of the moves from Orochi Shermie? I don't know. Chris becomes Evil Kyo? Yeah, actually, you're right. Chris does have a lot of Kyo's moves, but he's got, like, the perfect flames. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a case where, like, the clone character, quote-unquote, actually diverges so much, you can't even call it a clone. It's just completely different. There's, like, no resemblance. You don't get that often in Street Fighter, though. Like, Akuma's pretty much Ken and Ryu, but with air fireballs and a couple other gimmicks. You know. It's not, like, wildly done. I think Goken in Street Fighter 4 was done quite nicely. I both lament the fact that he doesn't have a standard Shoto kit, but I also like the fact that he doesn't have a standard Shoto kit. Like, everything's kind of there, they're just in a different form. So, like, obviously you could shoot Hadokens in different variations from the ground instead of the air, which kind of is neat because Akuma can shoot, obviously, forward on the ground and diagonal in the air, and Goken can only shoot from the ground, but he can shoot up into the air and in front, which is really nice. I could never wrap my head around Goken. Yeah, he was cool, but he was such a departure that you really had to think about it differently. Like, his Tatsumaki only went up in the air. So his standard Tatsumaki was basically Akuma's super Tatsumaki from Third Strike, where he would go up into the air with it. Yeah, and then he had that palm rush. Yeah, I don't know if it had armor. It was a little complicated. That one was very different. There was some kind of parry mechanic he had too. I don't know. I couldn't, like you said, couldn't really wrap my mind completely around it. It took a very different approach. But the Hadokens were nice though. You could shoot them diagonally from the ground. You know, I had one with armor. Maybe it's an EX version or something. Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty cool, but come to think of it, some of his moves kind of seemed to like evolve into Oni's moves when they made Oni. Because Oni's got that like palm strike thing where he can go behind you or go in front of you to like mix you up with that. Like that one's cool. Yeah, it just kind of has that kind of difference. And so yeah, kind of segue into Oni, where Oni is very different from normal Akuma. Sure, he's got like the, you know, he's got Hadokens and stuff, but they're very different. You know, he's got the, it kind of looks like he's doing Azure Warp, but he's doing this palm strike thing, or this like slash karate chop strike thing, where he'll like look like he's sort of raging demoning towards you, and then he'll either strike in front or he'll go behind you and strike you from behind. You know, there's a lot of changes like that. He's got an air dash, sort of. He's got an air demon, which is really funny. It's kind of goofy, but it's cool. And then for Kage, instead of an evasive move, the combo extenders. Yeah, Kage is the goofy one. I feel like Kage is the one that's like weird and overcomplicated. If that makes sense. I like the changes they made to Evil Ryu in 4. But I don't. I would rather have that than Kage. Kage was just weird. He looks goofy. He just kind of, I don't know. He's got, yeah, Kage is so cool. Yeah, right. He's got the Flintstones kick. Don't you remember? His Tatsumaki is just one big boot to the face. I think people are calling it the Flintstones kick because he's just got the bare foot. It looks, dude, Kage looks like Dan. He looks like Evil Dan. His moves are so weird looking. Like they look like malformed versions of the normal Shoto moves. So we already have a character for that. It's called Dan. He's the one with the malformed attacks. So it's literally Shin Dan. Kage is just Shin Dan. It's so dumb. I hate Kage. He looks so stupid and his moves are so dumb. Yeah, Evil Dan. He really is. And everybody kicks his ass and makes fun of him. It's literally the same thing. Yeah, fireballs don't go full screen. See, told you. Evil Dan. Every time he shows up, he gloats, he gets beaten down, and no one takes him seriously. Who is that? What character do we attribute to that? It's called Dan. Apparently also Kage, but Dan. So yeah, Kage is just literally Evil Dan, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Makes sense to me. Oh, Nakali. Oh no, Nakali could have been so cool, but they made him so lame. Kage could have been a killer final boss. He had all the makings of a final boss, and then they fucked him up. And they made him so dumb and incompetent. He had this cool backstory. He's like this 1,000-year-old soul-eating warrior. He's collecting the souls, the powers of everybody. Dude, he screams final boss, and then you get to him, and he's just a mudman. He's just mudman. And then he gets his ass kicked and he goes away, and that's it. Like, his entire story is just getting his ass kicked and leaving. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? I don't know if Nakali was supposed to be the end boss, and then they were like, fuck it, Bison should just be the end boss. And then they just go in and just like, well, we've got Nakali, what do we do with him? And they're like, just make him a jobber. It's fine. Bison will kick his ass, and he'll never show up again. And that's it. That's literally what happened in the story. That's it. I mean, Bison was technically the last boss. There was no, like, boss character version, though. It was just normal Bison. They just cranked up the AI a little, and they're like, oh, yeah, here you go. This is it. Yeah, it really did feel like they kept changing their minds on it. I don't know. It's so messed up. Yeah, and then, they calling G the boss now? And I'm like, what? But yeah, apparently the developer's like, no, G was the boss all along. It's like, what are you talking about? G's not the boss? What? I don't know. The lore of Street Fighter is so irrevocably fucked at this point that I just don't even know. Gil was more of a boss than any of the characters that he actually had his meteors and resurrection and shit. Yeah, that is 100% true. Yeah, they put Seth and Gil in the game, and it's like, okay, now the game finally has boss issues. And I'll die on the hill. I like what they did to Seth. I like everything they did with Seth. They turned him from my most hated character in Street Fighter 4 to like one of the coolest characters in Street Fighter 5. Like, they did a whole turnaround for him. Yeah. Gil had the better parries too, so like Ryu's parries were kind of slow, but Gil's parries were harder to perform, than Ryu's parries, but they were more effective. They gave you less downtime on them. Street Fighter lore gets retconned every game. It never really used to that much, but lately, like 4 and 5 really screwed the pooch. They had no idea what was going on. You could tell that no one from 3 was working on 4's story. Or if they did, I'd be shocked. Because all the character motivations, all the themes that go behind all that were like completely thrown out the fucking window. Like bringing Goken back completely like fucked the entire point of Ryu's story. And also Street Fighter 3's. Like I don't know. Whoever thought that was a good idea, no. They have no idea what they're doing right now. So it's like, oh, Ryu's self-motivated, and you know he's learning without his master. He's doing his own thing his own way, and then eventually, once he gets to a sufficient level, he's going to find a different master to teach him other stuff at the super high level, and that's Oro, right? And so they're like, okay, so we're gonna make a game between Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3, and we're gonna throw all that shit out the window and we're gonna bring Goken back, so that like now it doesn't make sense for Ryu's like self-improvement story, and then we're gonna fuck Street Fighter 3. So there's like really no reason for Oro to exist, because now I guess, like, why would you bother going to train under Oro if Goken's back? And Goken's gonna teach you the ultimate power anyway, so, like, what's the point? Like, it's all completely fucked now. Kind of wish Oro was a boss too, hidden character. That would be kind of cool. Like, not an evil character, right? But just a hidden boss. Yeah, so, I don't know. I'm immeasurably disappointed at, like, the lore going in now. Like, it's never been, you know, super complicated, but at least the themes have been relatively consistent up until 4. And then once 4 came out, everything's out the fucking window. They just did whatever. They didn't even consider anything around it. It's just a mess. You know, Ryu's whole vengeance, you know, reason to fight Akuma, you know, a lot of that had to do with Goken's death, and now Goken's not dead, so, like, does Ryu just not fight Akuma? What point is there to have Ryu fight Akuma now? Just to do it? Like, that's a dumb reasoning to do anything. Oh, just to do it, okay. I mean, that's Ryu's casual reasoning for getting stronger, but you don't have any, like, extra motivation for him to fight Akuma now. Like, there's no, you know, at least you could say that, oh, Ryu was gonna prove, you know, Goken's style correct. He was going, yeah, just fight, yeah. He was going to avenge his master in the process. You know, he was going to take down the dark side of his, you know, legacy here. And, like, all that's out the window now. Like, Ryu and Goken could, like, Goken himself could probably just go and take Akuma out, I guess. I don't know, Goken trains a bit more and goes and takes Akuma out. Clearly, he's more powerful than Ryu. Why doesn't Goken do it? Why not? Just have Goken go take care of it. It don't matter. Ryu done got no stake in this game anymore. I think Goken's got more beef to take down Akuma now than Ryu, now that Goken's back. You see how it deteriorates the entire situation. So, I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but it ain't, whatever it is, it ain't good. And I'm not here for it. I've just checked out on the Street Fighter story at this point. It's completely meaningless at this point. There's no stakes anymore. It doesn't, nothing matters. I think Goken dies again at the end of Street Fighter 5. Well, he's training Ryu in Street Fighter 5. Or 4, you said. You said 4. Yeah, no, he doesn't. Because he's training Ryu in Street Fighter 5's story mode. He's teaching Ryu how to do the power of nothingness, whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. They never explained that. I could see like a weird concept like that being taught by Oro, maybe. But now they're just like, no, Oro doesn't need to exist because Gouken's back. So I don't know. I really don't. I'm so confused. I have no idea what they're trying to accomplish with it. It doesn't make any sense. If they don't probably age characters in Street Fighter 6, I'm gonna lose it. Theoretically, Street Fighter 5, the events of Street Fighter 5 go past Street Fighter 3 in a way. So on Twitter, people had asked Nakayama, right, is his name? They had asked about Ed, or maybe he just volunteered the information. But the scene with Ed, when he's got the Neo Shadow crew there, he's got with the gorilla and shit. You know, you remember Ed, well, if you ever played Ed. I know I didn't. But I've seen the video of his story mode. What a wasted character, Jesus Christ. Anyway. Fucking Ed. But Ed's ending in story mode? I think it's in story mode. But either one of the story modes or the arcade mode or whatever, but it shows him with him and Falk, this guy with a beard, and then this like gorilla, and they all got these Neo Shadow costumes on. So the director, Nakayama, he said that those events take place after Street Fighter 3. So we do have confirmed events that have been shown in Street Fighter 5 that transpire after Street Fighter 3's conclusion. Ed's the greatest thing since oil wrestling on asphalt. Dude, I'm so mad at what they did to Ed. He could have been so cool. I wish Psycho Gorilla was playable in Street Fighter 6. He might be. You don't know yet. Maybe he is. He could have been Capcom's Rock Howard. Yeah. Yeah, he looked cool in Street Fighter 4. And then they're like, nah, we gotta bulk you up and age you up for reasons because you're a clone or something. I don't know, whatever. There was no reason to do what they did to Ed. And then they put him in this fucking clown outfit. And then they're like, here. Oh, and by the way, you don't have any like special motions. You're a Smash character. Like, what? Okay, what? If they just made him Joseph Joestar, it would have been fine. And if you've watched JoJo, you know what I mean. When Ed throws out those psycho power tentacles. I don't know how to say them otherwise. He throws out the psycho power tentacles. And he can like grab you and like pull you in. That's just Joseph Joestar's stand from the part 3 of JoJo. And Capcom's even made a game with a character with him in it, and he does that. I wish they had a port on PC. I've got it on the PS3, but I don't feel like booting the PS3 up. Let me see if I can find a combo video. If they just made him Joseph Joestar and made his personality like cool, he would have been great. Holy shit, he would have been so fun. But of course that's not what they do. Let's see, Heritage for the Future is what it's called. Combos, I guess. Let's see. What do we got? Basic combos. Guide for new players. Oh, there's Young Joseph too, I forgot. Combo guide? Sure, alright. Old Joseph basic combo guide. Look at this shit. Come on, show the stand here. They're just showing overdrive. There, see? He's got the stand tentacles. That's an alternate color, so they're red, but usually they're purple. But you can definitely see the similarity to Ed's kind of design here. Where's the one where he shoots it out? Oh, he's got that one. He's got one where he shoots him out and he can pull him in. I don't know if he'll use that one. Oh yeah, this game was interesting, by the way, that your dashing attacks were different moves. Oh, here we go. Stand on. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Come on, grab him. Show the grab. Come on. Come on, show it. Get there eventually. And the JoJo fighting game was so cool. It's unbalanced as fuck, but it's so cool. Wait, that's it? Oh, confirms into Hermit Grab. Yeah, this... Oh, wait, I don't know. What is Hermit Grab? Oh, there it is. There it is. Yep, that's it. That's the one. He's got 2 grab moves. That's the one. It's a long range. And see how he pulled him in? See how he pulls him back? It's just like Ed's. See? It's just like Ed's. If they made Ed more like this, it would have been great. Kinda wish DiCaprio made it in the Street Fighter 5. She was a cool character in Street Fighter 4. She was also in the story mode. I was actually really surprised she didn't make it in. Someone mentioned to me once that that DiCaprio was going to be in instead of Cammy. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, though. It was confirmed that they were considering Sodom, though. For sure. I wish Ed fought like Jolene since he's a kickboxer. Well, you know what? This may shock you, but Jury is Jolene. The inspiration for Jury's design was Jolene Kujo from Part 6. So, as far as Capcom's concerned, she's already been represented. Look at that shit. Just keeps pulling you back. It's so cool. Joseph's not a top tier character in this game, but he's really cool. Here's how Jolene fights an all-star battle. Alright, let's check that out. Yeah, speaking of which, Part 6 is airing December 1st on Netflix. I know I'm gonna be there. Let's see, where's chat? Here's chat. Hey, it's us! It's us! We're live right now! I'll trust the link. Let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah, All-Star Battle looked pretty good. I played the demo, but I never bought the full game. Nothing against it. I think it was just at a time where I was like, I can't really afford this. And, like, it's not like the online's good, and I don't know anyone else that have. This was definitely the closest that any of the JoJo games got to being as good as the Capcom ones, but it still wasn't quite there. It also ran only 30 FPS, which sucked. And it never got an update or anything. It did have a whole lot of characters, though. Yeah, I like Joing. Joing's one of my favorites. Not like in a game, but just like as a character. So I'm very happy that they went and animated part 6. I mean, that was their intention all along, was to do all the parts, but it's nice to see it. I had hoped that they would get there eventually, and they have. There's a fan patch that fixes a lot of the game's issues. Huh. Alright, so when are they adding rollback, right? If you can get a mod to add rollback, now we're talking. Yeah, and then they never made a sequel to this game. Instead, they recycled the assets from this game and made some kind of like arena brawler fighter thing that apparently wasn't that great. And I was so mad about that. So they just completely abandoned the idea of like a fighter ever again. So yeah. This game had a lot of style though. Had a lot of style. Alright, since we're on JoJo, I pulled up. Is this it? Yeah, one day ago, right? Yeah. Alright. Listen. If we're on JoJo hype, let's go all the way. Let's go all the way. They released the opening for part 6. So let's watch this together and bask in the glory. Brought the CG back. Everybody's been complaining about it. Yeah, everybody wanted the CG back. But I always love the coloring that they give the CG. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. You just release it now, Netflix. I'm ready. What's it? We got? It's gonna be Wednesday. I don't know when it releases on Wednesday, but yeah. No, they really put it together for that intro. It was really good. I'm ready, man. I'm here for this. We already listened to that one. There you go. Anamanaguchi. Yeah, I'm ready, man. I don't know if they release them at noon or midnight or whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah, I hope it's like right at midnight on Wednesday morning. Cause like Jump, they don't release the comics. Their app for the manga, they release them at noon on Sunday. Like when One Piece comes out, it's always at noon on Eastern time. So like when I wake up, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, it's not noon yet. I need my One Piece. It's not noon yet. Hurry the fuck up. Time travel, go. Noon needs to come fast. Now, I heard, and I don't know for sure, there seems to be a lot of conflicting information about this regarding the release of Part 6. I don't think it's going to be the entire series all at once. I think they're splitting it up into parts. And you could arguably call them seasons, maybe. But I don't know how big they'll be. And so, like, the first part of part 6 is going to release on Netflix, but I don't believe the whole thing is. That's what I've heard. That seems to be what makes the most sense, and that's what I've heard from people. Is that how part 5 worked? I didn't actually watch it on Netflix. I didn't know if it was... oh, wait, it came out later, though, right? The dub came out later on Netflix. That's why, right? Oh, part 5 wasn't on Netflix. Right away. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah. So, that's why I didn't see it on Netflix. Yeah, now it's exclusively on Netflix. I don't think, like, Crunchyroll's gonna have it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I've heard, that it's exclusively a Netflix thing now. So, as we're on topic of JoJo, do you think the protagonist of JoJo Lands will be Jolene or Giorno? Is that supposed to be the part after part 8? I'm not that far, so I don't know. So I don't know. Let's see. What does Crunchyroll say? Yeah, part 5 was on simulcast on Crunchy. That's where I caught it. According to the leaks, the anime will be released in batches of 12 episodes. That makes sense. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So unless David Productions has a super big check, they won't be able to produce the whole thing in one shot. The only thing that made me wonder was the fact that it took so long for part 6 to come out. Makes me think they were doing them in advance, kind of building up to that. But even the case of them doing the 12 up front might have caused that delay anyway. Going into part 6 blind, good. Don't read any spoilers. If you're going in blind, you're in for a fucking ride. Yeah, just if you're going in blind, keep the blinders on, because it's gonna be a wild ass ride. You're in for one. It's a very not standard anime. Especially for its time, it was very different than anything else out there. And it's different than the other parts of JoJo as well. Not gonna spoil anything. But you're in for a ride. It's not gonna end how you think it is. Put it that way. The first batch will end on Foo Fighters intro arc. Okay. Alright, that'll work. I don't know. They're probably gonna butcher the fucking names though, aren't they? Oh, they butcher the names every time and it makes me so mad. I get it, like, I don't know if they can get sued for it or whatever. They're scared about something, but yeah, I don't know. What are they gonna call Foo Fighter? Like, really? I don't know. Changing characters' name like that pisses me off, like it really does. I know JoJo's probably not big enough to pay the license fees to actually get it. Oh no, you've got the localization name links? Alright, hit me with it. Hit me with some of them. Give me the main cast. I want to know at least what they did with that. I assume Jolene's just gonna be Jolene. There's no issue there, but like, yeah. Like, what happened to Foo Fighter? And that was, I got a little bit into part 7 in the manga, but that's where I am now. So I haven't hit part 8 at all. I'm maybe a 4th to a 3rd through part 7. So I don't know anything really about part 8. And it sounds like he's going to part 9 now, so we'll see. I have no idea what that'll entail. Let's see. What was I? Oh, I was gonna look up Crunchyroll JoJo Part 6. Get out of the way. They're only promoting the Netflix. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just don't have the license for it at all. I thought maybe Crunchyroll could maybe simulcast it. They just didn't get them all at once, but yeah, they just might not have it at all. Oh no. Let's see. What else we got here? TV. Alright. I assume Crunchyroll should be safe enough to put up on stream. So let's see. We've got, yeah. Goes on Netflix. This was posted in November. And they're just showing the trailers. Okay. This was in August, so this was actually prior to this. But yeah, worldwide release on Netflix in December. Yeah, I don't think Crunchyroll's got any rights to it. Those poor bastards. JoJo's big too, so they're losing out. Let's see. Oh, this was April, so this is way back, so. Yeah, this is the most recent article, and it doesn't say anything about Crunchyroll having it, so. Yeah, I think they're hosed. I feel bad for them. In part 9, is Araki a vampire? He's been a vampire all along. So far, I don't think anything will top Aerosmith as Little Bomber. Yeah, Raki's looked 35 for 50 years. Do the math. Yeah. He really does. I think he's actually finally starting to age. You can start to actually see it now, which is kind of hilarious how long he's kind of maintained that youth. But I've seen a recent photo of him, and my first takeaway was, oh, he's actually starting to age now. Okay. he's finally getting it. Oh, I'm ready though. Part 6 is one of my favorites. I mean, like, I like all the parts, but I think, I don't know. It's so hard because they're so good. But obviously, like, part 2 is a special one for me. Part 2's really good. Part 3 is good. But, I don't know if I want to call it overrated. But I think it gets more attention, you know, than like part 4 and 5. Perhaps the cast of characters is a bit more likable. But I think that's the one that everybody just kind of knows, so they default to that one as the one to go to. Oh, Amber needs me to turn the lights out. Alright, hold on. She can't reach up and grab the thing. I'm in the part 3 bandwagon? Alright, hold that thought. I'll be right back. Okay. Go back. Okay. Ori says I'm on the part 3 bandwagon. Is that your favorite? Part 3 is your favorite of the parts? It's not a bad one to pick, for sure. I think it gets generally picked a lot because it's the one that people know the most. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have its merits, right? It is. Why do you like that one over any of the other ones? I'd be curious to know. Is it the characters or the progression? It's a pretty long one too. I think after obviously I read through them, but after like re-experiencing them through the anime, and maybe the animation and all that do help too, but I kind of found like more appreciation proportionally for like part 4 and 5 than I had in the past. Definitely the characters. Haven't seen part 6 yet. Okay, gotcha. I don't think part 6 will do anything to impress you in that regard. Not to say that part 6 is bad or has bad characters, but if you liked the characters in part 3 the most, part 6 might not be your thing. I think there's a few things that hold part 6 back. I think in general, for the general reception among fans. It's not that they hate part 6, but I think people are a little more lukewarm on part 6 for the following reasons, and this is going to be spoiler free. I will say 1 is the ending. I won't say why, but I'll say 1 is the ending. A lot of people not too keen on that one, for obvious reasons. The other is that there's no globetrotting at all, and in fact the locations don't change up even as much as part 4, because the entire thing is like a prison story. So you've got kind of stuck to that one location, and then everything kind of happens in and around that location. So I think that's another thing that it's not that it grates on people, but the potential lack of variety in the locations. I think they made good with what they had, but there's no getting around the fact that it's all in the same location, right? You know, for the most part. So I think there's that, and I think people would find it easier to relate to the characters in part 3 as opposed to part 5. Oh no, is that really the names for the localization? Oh no. Weeder forecast? Narciso Anastasia? I guess that's right. Yeah, right. And oh my god. No. No. All right. This is why I hate localized JoJo. Prison Story is fine. They don't happen often in anime. I think it came out good, but I can definitely see people being like, oh, 3 was a globetrotting adventure, and you know, even like 5, you went to different places, and even in 4 there was a variety of places around town to have different stories. But in this one, it's like, I could understand if you have location fatigue, right? Foo Fighters will just be FF. Okay, I guess that works. That was her nickname anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it works. Good localized JoJo names are an art form of their own, but they're so bad. Stone Free will be Stone Ocean? Really? Wait, Stone Free was a music reference? I didn't realize that Stone Free was a music reference. I thought that one was just an original name. Oh man, changing the actual... Oh, you're right. It was a Hendrix song. Fuck. Come on, just slip it in. It's fine. No one will notice. Just slip it. Slip it in. You're right though. Yeah. God damn. Dude, I fucking hate... I'm not gonna say I hate copyright law. Like, there's reasons that shit has to exist. But man, when it comes to things like this, it's like, come on, man, just... It's so creative what Araki did to do all that. Just slipping a Hendrix on, I don't notice. I don't know. Stone Free. It just sounds like something that like anybody could come up with. So like if you took that to like a court battle, I don't know. Like can't you have two songs of the same name too, right? Like copyright law actually doesn't prevent two songs having the same name, I think. I don't know what they would really do in court for that. Again, I'm no lawyer, but just kind of thinking out loud, what exactly would they do? What would their court case be in that regard, right? What would it even be? And maybe you're using their name for publicity? Well, would that be a copyright thing, or would that be more like a trademark violation? It would just tie up time and legal fees? Yeah, that's true too, right? They don't have to win, they just have to wait it out. Yeah, I guess their legal defense would be more akin to a trademark thing. In which case, I still don't know if they would have... in this particular case, for Stone Free, I don't know. I guess because they're all musical themed, they might have a case. They'll be like, it's an obvious reference because all the other ones are references to other stuff, you know, within the music industry. Yeah, I guess they'd have something there. I just feel like, I don't know, the words stone and free are just colloquially there enough to... that in a vacuum, maybe they wouldn't get hit for that one. But I think the context with all the other ones being very musical, I think that would definitely trigger it. Kiss is called Smack? Okay, that's kind of funny. Wait, you can't have Smack? What about Godsmack? They're gonna get mad. You can't do that. You can't use any words anymore, apparently. Jesus, I don't know. I think it's really fun and creative that they're based on that. I don't know. Like, in my mind, it's kind of like, why bother complaining about something like that? You know, why bother going after people for something like that? I don't know. White snake is pale snake. Dude, do they take the names from All-Star Battle? Because All-Star Battle had to sanitize the names too, if you remember. If I recall correctly, D4C, so Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, in All-Star Battle got changed to like, what was it, like Filthy Acts for a Reasonable Price? Was that real, or was that just like a meme edit? I remember seeing that when that game came out, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? again, it's almost amusing in itself. For how much of an art form it is to like make these things legally distinct. They're using the EOH names. Oh, that's Eyes of Heaven, right? Yeah, that's the brawler game that I was talking about before. I think that's only on PS4. Alright, let's see. JoJo name variants. Oh no, they've got them all. Oh, fuck me. You know what? I'm afraid to scroll down to part 6 because I don't want any spoilers or anything. So let's just look at like part 2. Sigikyu? Oh, that's a different. Let's see. Stardust creators. JoJo 6251, what's that? All-Star Battle, just Suzy Q. Okay. Santana. Oh yeah, they Santa and I would say they definitely changed that one. Sant to Vino? Vinto? Sant? I don't even fucking know. Oh, they just use one. SCDC. I love that one. They just enunciated it instead of ACDC. Yeah, it's fucking funny though. Part 3. I don't know if part 3 had as many changes. Because a lot of them are like tarot stuff, right? Hierophant Emerald. I don't know. It's not saying this must be in the Viz translation? I don't know. Only Polnareff was changed? Yeah. Yeah, they kind of went in a different route there with the tarot card shit. Well, Oingo Boingo is a reference. What did they do? The American edition of All-Star Battle and the Crunchyroll subs. Mondada? Really? What? Oing Voingo. Yeah, right. Yeah, well here's Oing here. Here's Voing. Used in a PlayStation video game. I don't know which one that is, but yeah, All-Star Battle just went off. They're just like, no, not even close. Oh yeah, All-Star Battle here, Zenyatta. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, not all of these, Marahia, that's funny, instead of Mariah. Oh! What, did I search it by accident? What happened? Oh, I lost my place here. Yeah, I think it searched it. Yeah, Vanilla Ice became iced. I remember that one. That's funny. Yeah, that was in the English version of the JoJo game that Capcom made. They just called them Ice. And Cool Ice and All-Star Battle. That's hilarious. It's also nauseating, but it's also hilarious. I guess I didn't change Dio. Kenny G became Ken E.G. Yeah. Pet Shop became Animal Shop. Dude, that's awful. That's terrible. That doesn't roll off the tongue at all. Alright, we're losing the plot too much here. Fuck it. Back on track. The JoJo localization rabbit hole is very deep. It's very, very hard to find this material as is, let alone all the ways they sanitized it and shit. Oh well, anyway. So, God, what were we even talking about? We were talking about music, and then Terry faints. Yeah, I guess that's kind of where we were. Kind of, I put it in the run cancel without having to put the buttons in. I'm trying to stop. I keep doing the diagonal one. I'm trying to stop and then do this, and then this. I want to do like that. Oh, that worked. I was close enough for that one. That's basically what... It's basically what I'm trying to do, is to have this be the thing to do while you're in Power Max. That does mean, unfortunately, that I did remove it from the normal list of stuff you could do without Power Max. So you, in this version, you can no longer do the crack shoot out of it, and that's essentially how the old games performed anyway. You were never able to do that anyway. But I think it makes sense to give this bit of extra functionality to, especially since it's something you never had before anyway. I think it's alright to keep it in Power Max. I think I ran out of max. The max meter is broken now, so I don't know. Yeah, and then you could do that. Wait. Did not connect all the way? What happened there? Oh shit, that's not gonna happen. Okay, that one I deliberately inputted the other one. I'm not getting the full... Oh, okay, so here's two things wrong. I'm not hitting the down direction. I'm hitting kick before I press forward, so I gotta slow down. Oh, and I pressed the wrong button to cancel. Oh, that was an EX by accident. That's not right. I mean, yeah, it'll give me, yeah, there we go. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. That's the kind of stuff I want to see when you use Power Max with Terry. You know, then potentially, stuff like that. Man, you gotta do that cancel quick, though. In order to get that. I feel the timing might be a little too tight, maybe, but I don't know. For such a powerful ability, maybe not. It's just, again, I omit having such a good ability. You know, something that you've got to pay meter for, to be something that maybe some players won't even be able to use because of the skill gap on it. Like, it's different with, like, Ken's and Ryu's Power Max, right? Because you could still do the basic move for them. With Ryu, it's just Hadoukens become Denjins. There's nothing special you have to do. If you already know how to throw a Hadouken, you can throw a Denjin. Maybe you don't know how to charge it up, or you don't know the setups or whatever, but you can still at least do it. You can at least throw one out there. And it's still useful, even without doing anything special. And Ken's the same thing. Crazy kicks get fire on them, and they become, you know, like safe on block and shit. Or the overhead becomes safe on block. That's immediately doable and you can see the results of it, and it's something that's still useful to a novice player. It just feels like Terry just, I don't know, having to do all that to just do like extra normal hits and stuff. I don't know. Like, look at the input for that. It's just fucked up. And you got to do it in a pretty fast timing too. Jesus, I can't even do it half the time. I feel like it's just too difficult. Like, I'm sure with practice it'd be fine, but I don't know. It's an SNK combo. Yeah, I know, but maybe it could be that I'm just more used to Capcom stuff, but I was still like a casual player to be able to come in and at least do the damn move. I have some markable benefit on it, you know? And sure, they could get that with just, you know, unlocking the third super, right? If I keep it that way. It could just be, oh, I can unlock the third super. Cool. I can do this one now. Great. Maybe it could work like a Roman cancel. Well, that's what Power Max is for, right? This cancel is basically a Roman cancel. You know? Like, that's what this is for. That's already an ability in the game. And if Terry just got like infinite Roman cancels for a period of time, I don't know. Yeah, this one works on everything. It works on specials. It works on hit or block. The Power Max cancel. Like, it's pretty versatile. The only thing it doesn't work for is supers. Make him play like a Fatal Fury character. Yeah, give him the lanes. Yeah, he can move the lanes while he get Power Max. That'd be so dumb. I tell you that it does play a lot better since I simplified it to just heavy punch, heavy kick, though. Instead of having to do a direction to do the cancel. It's definitely a lot easier. Wonder if that one's actually safe on block. I guess at distance. Oh yeah, okay. So trip is safe on block. That's actually a pretty good ability. To make that just completely invulnerable on block. That's a pretty decent usage. Honestly, there's not a lot you can give Terry in Power Max. Yeah, he doesn't change. Like, he changes from game to game, but usually the changes are somewhat equivocal. So you have, like, if you don't have power dunk, or if you don't have power charge, usually he's got fire kick, which essentially does the same thing as power charge. It bumps the person up into the air for a follow-up. You know, like, a lot of his stuff is pretty much just, how do I want to say? A lot of the changes that he gets have kind of like equivocal changes. So it's like, oh yeah, you didn't put fire kick in. It's like, yeah, but why would I? Power charge is already in. Like, what would fire kick do that power charge doesn't do? It's basically the same thing. You know? That's how I feel about Terry. That's why he's been so hard to design. Yeah, so previously, if you wanted, if you wanted to make this safe, you'd have to cancel into Power Wave EX. I think that might be the only way to do it. Oh no, that worked. All right, so you do have a meterless way to make this, safe on block. Yeah, okay, so this this use case doesn't do anything. He also doesn't have any kind of big awakening mode like Kenaryu. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't really have like a power-up mode. Yeah, and it doesn't make this safe on block, even at range. Yeah, it's hard to think about that. Jeez, the fucking thing is safer but not doing the cancel. Yeah, I don't know. The other change I made was that if it was on block, you can't cancel the feint. Yeah, oh, no, that's not working. There it is. You had to wait till it completed to do another one. But if you did them on hit, then you could get the two. It just seems so hard to do. Again, you could practice it for sure, and it's powerful in that way, but I just feel like if it's not reliably doable, I don't know. It looks like you can't make the feints work in Pocket Fighter EX without reworking them. That's the unfortunate thing I'm thinking of. I think the only one that might actually work properly is this. And is that enough? Maybe. Maybe that's enough. Right? I mean, it gives you a lot of combo ability off of that. It now makes power charge, you know, like a big deal. You know? Like, it really enhances that one. You know, doing shit like that's kind of cool, right? That's the kind of stuff that I want to see out of power charge. But I think it makes sense that in his normal mode, he wouldn't necessarily have all the bonker shit. So maybe instead of a general ability, it only works on power charge. Like, I kind of feel bad taking it away, you know, as a general thing. It is kind of cool when you can do it, but I think the fact that, like, I don't know. He can already do this shit with different tools. I'm not sure if it actually adds anything. Maybe you could do stuff like this. The more I think about it, the more I think I might just be happy leaving it as an extension for power charge and leave it at that. Hold on. What part of this are you referring to? Because Garrou's got a lot less knockback than Pocket Fighter EX. Yeah, no, I know it's a feint combo. Are you talking about linking, like, the two uppercuts and shit? But the problem with that is that's basically what's going on here. It's just that Pocket Fighter EX has higher knockback than Garrou does. So the linking of these two things doesn't, it doesn't work out quite the same way. Like, yeah, you could do that. Jesus, if I can pull it off. The fact that I just can't even do it like this is kind of telling that maybe the mechanic's not working right. Yeah, it's a problem with translating game mechanics. Yeah, that's the thing. Depending on like what your knockdown values are, or your knockback values, like your damage values and stuff, some mechanics may like completely like sort of like desync with the game logic. Not at the programming level, but you know, at the concept level. Oh my god, I can't even do it anymore. There, like that. Sure, that combo becomes possible, but you know what else you can do? You just do that. Yeah, so damage values. Let's check damage values. Right? So we're comparing this, 241. Assuming that you can get it. Ah, it's a pain in the ass. Oh my god. There. 247 versus, what was it, 241, right? And that, yeah, so you lose 6 points of damage, but it was infinitely harder to do. I don't know. The big thing about Terry's feint in Garrou is his block pressure. Yeah, and it doesn't really award you anything here. It's his sweep here is already safe on block. So, like, I don't know, it's like, doing that doesn't do anything. And then, I don't know. Oh, you know what? The one thing that it was actually good for that we found last time is doing something like this. Shit, how come it didn't work? That. It was good for that. You could cancel into the feint and then grab. Because grab range is pretty good in this game. Boom. And why is that important in Power Max? Hold on. Because... Oh, hold on. I gotta do it again. Well. I guess you're not plus though anymore. So maybe this doesn't work. Here. This moves OTG. So if you can grab him, pardon the sprite that stays, you can grab him in the corner. You can hit him OTG in there. And, you know, that's a little more than a third of life, doing that kind of thing. That could potentially be alright. But that's only if they're already scared, I guess. But if they see this, I don't know if they'll... I don't think that this is... I don't think that that's safe on one. So... Yeah, that'll interrupt the Shoryu, but if you threw a super out there, it would have ate it. Can you do OTG after the power charge combo? Yes, you can. It won't do as much damage, but... Oh wait, hold on, he's gotta stop guarding. Would be nice. So let's see. If I were to do... Nope, I didn't get it. Hold on. There, you could do this. It doesn't do that much damage, and it does take 3 bars, so you gotta use it sparingly. That's kind of obviously to make it a little more fair, because you can do it after any, like, you I think you could just do it like this. Oh, if I can get it. Damn D-pads! There, no? There. Yeah, you can get it off of that, too. It doesn't hit all hits, but you get the idea. I mean, if they're low on life and you've got the meter to spare, like, that's not bad. That's like a third of their life gone. You could end a round with that. You know, just for them doing an oopsie. Whoop! Oopsie doopsie poopsie. There we go, you're dead. You know, that's... So if Terry's got the advantage here in the corner and, you know, he's harassing you. That was a bad example. Oops. Oopsie doopsie poopsie, you're dead. You know, say you were low on life, boom, you're dead. Or say you are not attacking and, you know, you're getting harassed in the corner. You know, you're blocking. Oh, okay, well, GG's. You know, I think it could be very powerful, but it's very situational. You have to have a bar of max. You have to be in max, be in the corner, and throw, and also have 3 bars of super. Like, it's very situational, and that's why I've been searching for something else to add to max mode for him, because it's such a situational thing, right? Fuck. Yeah, the editor's starting to lag. I had to start to some combos that could work. Oh, I know I started lagging. Well, number 1 was refresh the editor. Because it does get laggy after a while. The stream was playing muted in the background. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this video is. He basically did, yeah, he basically did that one combo that we were doing. Let's see, where's chat? Yeah, see that move there? I'm wondering if we could just reduce the ability to that move. Where is it? Hold on. Just gotta go back. Here. Could we just give him this instead of the feint? This move here, where he cancels this, and then he does a little spin and stops. Just do that after power charge. You know, just do that out of power charge. And then let you do whatever. So it works just like the feint. It's just not a power wave feint. It just stops his power charge and keeps it on the ground, you know? And lets you do something else. And then maybe just, like, ignore the rest of the feint stuff. I don't know. It just feels like even if it's possible, it's not all that useful. I think the most useful bit is using it in the corner. If you can stop a block, yeah, you cancel a blocked attack into a feint that then grab him is like the best use of the thing so far, I think, in the game. Not Garo, but, you know, Pocket Fighter. That shit's ridiculous, though. Oh shit, wait, would that be possible? No, it wouldn't. I changed the properties, so power charge, if you hit an airborne opponent, does not give you the cancel properties. So that would still be safe to do. Even if you attempted to do another power charge, it wouldn't be canceled. Like the first one was. So that's safe. I was just thinking, I don't want no infinites now. Jesus Christ. Let's see. It said something about a card break too. Let's take a look at that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh no, really? Oh, good fucking Lord. Jesus Christ. Yeah, wait, what did I just see? Yeah, for real, right? Holy shit. Holy shit. We don't have guard breaks in this game. Not under unusual means. You get guard fatigue instead, so watch Ken here. Okay, see how his block sparks turn from blue to red? That's how you know you're in guard fatigue. I think I'd like to also make his portrait change a little. But pay attention up here to how much chip damage is taking place. So I'm going to reset him. See, normal moves don't produce chip damage. Special moves produce a little. You know, that's typical, right? But now look at the chip damage. Now that he's in guard fatigue, even normal attacks will do chip damage in guard fatigue. And special attacks do like 3 times chip damage that they did while in normal. So yeah, you can do a lot and guard fatigue. All that was chip damage there. So that combo had, yeah, that much chip damage to it. But there's no guard break. It's just you continually take the chip damage while you're in guard fatigue. Now you can heal guard fatigue by just entering power or armor max mode. Because you don't take any chip damage in this mode, so it will heal it. But the point is, there's no chip damage to begin with, so don't have to worry about that. I felt like guard breaks. The FGC has very different opinions about this, depending on who you ask. But I feel like guard breaks are, in a way, kind of punishing you for playing properly, in a way. And I've know other people have mentioned that sentiment, that it does feel like, oh, you're supposed to guard, you're supposed to defend yourself, and if you've got really good defense, eventually it'll fail. And it's like, is that proper? Is that what we really want? And so my solution was, yeah, sure, it makes sense that you don't want characters to be too reliant on guard. But I don't think they should just be completely left open for it. You know, a real guard break can really leave you super open, you know? Never jived with it in Alpha 3. Yeah, and that's the thing. In some games, you have the custom combos. Like in CVS 2 and in Alpha 3. You can go from 0 to guard break on those. They can absolutely guard break you in one combo, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. If you're in it, you're done. In games like KOF, guard breaks work fine because of roll. Yeah, you do have the evasive maneuver, right? So you can kind of get out of there if you want to spend the meter for it. So I can see it being more tolerable in KOF. It probably doesn't happen quite as much as a result. Here you've got normal roll. You don't have the guard roll. Now you do have alpha counters, but they're not quite as powerful as KOF blowbacks. In fact, I don't think Terry has a move that can actually stop Ken's Shoryuken. Because it's a multi-hitting attack, so it has kind of an advantage against alpha counters in general. Although I don't think it's possible that Terry's ones here might not have their invincibility programmed properly. What's worth in Alpha 3 is using alpha counters not only uses energy, but shortens your guard bar because you wanted to get people off of you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Shit, Rolento can do it without custom combos. It's a big ass penalty and it doesn't even do damage. The thing, I think that Alpha 3 would be nicely balanced if Alpha 3 only had Aism and Xism. If they took Vism out, I think the game would be fine. Or if you could just say only Aism, it would be fine. It would be a very nice, very interesting game that I think would have a lot of cool potential in it. But because they put Vism in, and Vism is fuck broke, yeah, then Alpha 3 is what it is now. I don't even want to look at Ramon. No Ramon vids here. Yeah, Vism breaks the whole game. Yeah. Daigo's talked about it too. He's like, yeah, if you took Vism out, I think he said that it would be a really, really good game. Oh, what did I run out of music? Hold up. What we got here? No, let's do this one. Can't go wrong with DKC. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. You could, if you either fixed Vism or just removed it, it would be fine. That's why like Alpha 2 has a very nice variety between that. Even though you have access to everything at once, it doesn't feel as overpowering as Vism is. They could have made it do no chip damage or guard break. It would justify it a bit, but no. It makes you not even want to pick the others. Yeah, there's no reason to pick any other ism, except for maybe very specific character combinations. Without Vism, Alpha 3 is one of the best Street Fighter games. Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. Look, we gotta get in Fightcade. We gotta host an A-ism only tournament, right? If you pick V-ism, you are instantly disqualified from that tournament and every one thereafter. But yeah, you have to use it. It's too good. I haven't really like done a deep dive to look at the effects of Xism, but my gut feeling is that having A and Xism would be really nice. A-ism only tournaments are really good to watch. Yeah, I've seen a couple of them, and that definitely made me a believer for sure. Xism is the best version of Super Turbo. Let me pull in. I'm tired of switching cameras here. Let me pull in the menu scene here. So it's what? Character select? Yeah. And I'm gonna go up here and copy this component. The view frame component. And we're gonna come down here to the main camera. And we're gonna paste this as a new one. Yeah. And I'll get rid of the VFP camera controller. That was the old one. And let's save it. And now I shouldn't have to switch. I have to go to all the cameras in the game and do this. Let's remove scene. Let's play. I shouldn't have to switch to the debug view to see that menu anymore. Yeah? Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Did the music stop again? How come? Oh, whatever. Hopefully it fixes stuff. Okay, cool. Just pick Vism and grind their guard part down like a block of Parmesan, and then hit them anyway, and they can do nothing about it because you stuck in block stuck. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it just kind of comes down to, at that point the game sort of becomes fair in a way, because if everybody can do it, then, you know, it is what it is. I love that clash. That was one of the coolest things I added. I love that effect. Fair but boring in a way. Oh, I agree. I agree. It is kind of boring. But Alpha 3 is playable when everybody's using Vism. I just wish the rest of Alpha 3 could be played. Kifa's the only character in Alpha 3 that can compete without Vism. Yeah, I heard that. I forget exactly why, but I do remember hearing that, yeah. Can't he, like, he can do some crazy stupid shit though, right? With activations in Vism. Like, he can fly across the screen when he normally couldn't. Only cool thing I like about VSM is having full access to all proximity normals. Yeah, how does that work now? I've heard that before, but I can't remember exactly what the deal with that is. Do they turn into command normals? I forget now. I never play VSM, so you hold back and you get the close versions? Yeah, okay, got it. I say I never really played it because I didn't like using it. Oh, did I show that? I tuned this a lot now. So at most ranges, you can do this. Of course I say that now and it's not working. Come on, damn it. Yeah, like that. So you can kind of do the third strike thing with it, but it has to be, you have to use an EX after. This won't combo in the game because of the way the system mechanics work. But this will. Yeah, I programmed it specifically to do this. It used to a little bit. I think you can still do it in the Why's the music stopping? Alright, fuck it. I'm just gonna change the settings here. There you go. Cool mountain. You could still do this, I think, in the public version that's out there. But it's a lot more fickle. You have to be really... You couldn't do it like this. You had to be... You'd have to just do a YOLO one and do it. And... You know... I didn't change it so that this specifically is possible. I changed it so that this was possible. When you're not point blank, to be able to still be able to get it. Because it felt a little too limiting to have to be like right on them. Oh, come on. There you go. And you can't be too far away, but it it definitely helps. Oop. And it's kind of like a mini Shoryu rep on that way. Of course, you do get, you can just do the Shoryu repo with this. Ah, I can't. This controller's killing me, I swear to God. There. Wow, he fell out of it? Wait, hold on, what the fuck happened there? Alright, there, that one worked. So you see, like, something like that's pretty cool, right? can't get it with the same one. Nope. So you can get it with that one. I think it's cool. It gives me that old Third Strike vibe to it. It was an excuse to slip in one of those Third Strike techs. At least it's not as stupid as Street Fighter V. You can do a full manual Rekka there. Manual Rekka. What do you mean? Oh, Repa. Oh, yeah, you can't follow it with the super, at least. But yeah, you can only do it with that. I mean, you could do this, but you gotta spend more resources for that. Hold on. Yeah, like you could do that, but you're spending 2 bars and a bar at max for that. Oh, that's not a counter hit. That's not a counter hit? Huh. What's a change to Terry? I guess it's too slow. What's he doing? Yeah, he's doing a kick, right? Yeah, that'll definitely hit. Yeah, on counter hit, you can do this. I don't know if the public version has this or if this was a change I made. Yeah, on counter hit, you can get the Shoryu in there, which also means you could get that, right? So, damn it. Yeah, like that. It's pretty good. Pretty good off counter hit, and it's pretty easy to confirm too, because you can see the flash. Oh yeah, why Zangief gets to use Aism and is still a threat in Alpha 3 because you start with a, oh yeah, that's right, you do start with a full bar in Alpha 3 and he gets 3 opportunities at minimum. Yeah, to super your ass. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I like this one because there's no max mode required. In fact, you can get in the max mode from this if you really wanted to lay the hurt down. Look at that. Ugh. I think Ken's gonna be the rushdown monster, for sure. Sure that won't be Ori? I mean, until other characters are in. We'll say right now. Right now, Ken's the rushdown monster for sure. Maybe he'll even rival Ori, who knows? I mean, Iori's cool and all, but he doesn't have like built-in safe on block overhead shit. Yeah, he got out of that one because it was I saw the counter hit spark on him there. Can't get them supers out too well on D-pad here. Wait, does that EX Air Tatsu send him down? What does that look like? TK'd. What's TK'd? Like if you hit them when they're on the ground, they bounce up, and you can do, you know, kind of just whatever you want with them. Oh, Tiger Need. Tiger Need. Not sure I understand. I mean, it's an air move, right? Why would you need to Tiger Knee it? Oh, you mean from the ground like this? Oh yeah, you can absolutely do that. Yeah. You can absolutely do that. Yeah, yeah. You're talking about this? Hold on. Fuck me. Yeah, yeah, that? Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Yeah, I get you now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't get what you meant at first. Yeah. The timing's a little strict, but yeah, you can do it. Fuck me. There it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this move's meant to be super nasty. This shit meant to be nasty. And it has a jump cancel. If you hit it, you can jump cancel to do other stuff. Including this. And then I'm not that good with the D-pad, but yeah. Yeah, no, it cost meter for sure. You can do it while going back. Okay, my hand's tired. Hold on. You can do it while going back. You can do it while going forward, neutral. Yeah, I'm not limiting that shit like 5 does. So if you hit the ground with it, you can run cancel, which means you can do basically any move out of it. And you can jump cancel, which really is only useful, like, I don't know, you could maybe do something like that if you wanted to mix them up. Because you can super jump out of it. It gives you something like that if you really want to. But it's really meant for getting into Tatsu. Like that. For big corner carry opportunity. Shit. Ah! I can't do this with D-pad. I'm sorry. It's killing me. Hold on. We'll make this right. Hold on. Hold on. There's too much shit on my desk. I gotta move it. You all should know what's coming now. Ugh. Here it is. Got all my buttons? I got all my buttons. Yeah. It's meant for this. That kind of shit. Yeah, it's still tough, but you can't do two of them. So if they're already in the air, then it knocks them to the ground, but there's no bounce. So only if they're on the ground do you get the bounce. So you can't. Oh, I ran out of EX. You can't just keep doing it over and over. So if you do that, then it ends. You can go in. Let's see. You can do the grounded version though after. That's permissible. Oh, screw that up. Oh, wrong one. So you can do a lot. It's still hard to do here. I was trying to do a Shoryu. Because after this, you can get Shoryu. It's hard to get. So you want there, like that. You can do all that in one combo. You got the resource for it. Ah, it's tough though. Ah, I dropped them. Typically after this, you've got two things you can do. So if you want to really push them far, this is hard to do from the other side. I'm so used to the other. Then you can hit them like that with step kick. If you wanted to get closer, then you can do that one. Tiger Knee, Cannon Strike. In early versions of Street Fighter 4 were nuts too. Yeah. And that was kind of the idea for it. I wanted it to be something similar to that, to be honest. K-Brad abused the shit out of that in tournaments, yeah. Yeah, like that, boom. You saw it, right? He made a move and that was it. And bye-bye. I'm out of practice with the crazy kick. I guess they're kind of recos. I don't know. You've got to press half circle light, half circle heavy to get that. Or half circle light, half circle both buttons to get that one. That's not what I want. When I did this, right? I don't know. If that would be possible. Oops. Missed the timing. Well, that one's not possible for sure. Oh, I did the wrong one. Oh, that would work, yeah. You could do that one. I don't think you'll get the overhead after. Because I held the button, and he just kind of countered it, it felt like. But it could keep someone at bay, for sure. Man, I gotta switch back to Octo. I think I've given up on the idea of Square Gate being for me. I think Ken's gonna be a lot of fun, though. He's gonna have a lot of stupid ass shenanigans. But I think games should have some shenanigans. As long as they cost meter, right? Only gate I use is keyboard gate. What's with the flashing on each hit? It's just a special effect for supers. Counter hits will also flash, but supers just have a special effect for flashing. The editor's running at a reduced frame rate, so it probably looks a little worse than it normally would. Wait, do these use a different flash pattern? Hold on. No, they're the same, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, all the supers have flashing. Ken's got a lot of red because they're fire, but like a typical attack like that won't have a. Ah. There's no fire. It's usually a white flash, and Ryu's is like that too. Terry's are red because his key is red. So he's like Ken. I don't know, Terry to me, he doesn't have fire key, but his key is often represented as red, like in Garou. So it's fiery enough, I guess. But Ryu's got flashing on his Hadouken super. Let's get rid of the that one. He's also got flashing on this hit. That's his parry, and it's basically a super because you have to load it. You have to load it with 2 bars, so it's basically a super. So those ones get a flash. When he uses it offensively, same deal. And the same thing with the Teshin extension. And then obviously, oh, I can do it right. Shinshoryu can have the doors. So all the supers have, but they're varying ones. You may not notice at first, but the Shinsho has it's got a red hit at the end. So if I pause it here, get it here, the final hit does dark white, and then it does red, like a red white. Can you link into Tatsuo Shinsho in this game? No. Not the design idea for the supers, especially the level 3, is that they're just enders. The way that the super damage is weighted different than other damage in the game, and it will do proportionally more damage. It will get scaled less. I'll put it that way. Supers get scaled less in general, so they're meant to be big, you know, finish the round kind of moves. Crouching Focus does not connect to Shinsho. It might not. Let's see. possible it might not. Oh fuck, this is gonna be hard to do. Jesus. Nope. There we go. Oh, it does. And it just gotta be close range. There you go. You can link, you know, Shoryu into Shinsho too, so. You're gonna have characters. You're gonna have the character portraits matching the color when somebody gets lit on fire? I didn't really think about that. Should be possible, yeah. In the old games, they only did that, I think, because the palette for that character was actually changed. And therefore, any sprite also using that palette had to change. I don't think they had the option. I think it just had to be that way. But yeah, in this game, I don't have that kind of limitation, so I could do it just if we wanted to do it, but I don't have to do it. Yeah, so here, this is a viable combo. If you want to do it that way. Let's see. Yeah, you could do that. You should be able to do that. No? Oh, he's just out of range, I think. Oh, it's tough to do. Oh, it is rough to do. Probably works in a corner though. Ah! Oh, that's target combo. It's really hard to do. Wait, let me try it on D-pad. Oh, that was not even close. Oh, wait, hold on, I need 3 bars too. Okay, and you gotta stop that. Nope. You'll get the tail end of it, but you won't get the full thing. You'll have to do it like this. Or, this might work. If I can get it. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. So they straight up use the same color data for the character for the portraits. That's something I didn't know. I thought it was a flourish all this time. Yeah, so what they would do is they would have one of the palettes would be player 1, one of the palettes would be player 2. But when player 1 needs to get set on fire, they would just overwrite player 1's colors with the fire palette. But since the portrait's also using player 1's palette, it also got changed. So it's like in Mega Man, when in Mega Man 4 and beyond, if you're charging the Mega Buster and there's a 1-up on screen, the Mega Buster or the 1-up's palette also changes and starts cycling. It's the same idea as that. Instead of cycling blues to make a charge effect, they just cycle reds to make a fire effect. But it's the same exact issue, so to speak. It just kind of like, it's cool. So like people, I guess, didn't think too much of it, right? I guess it's a savings because you didn't have to draw burn sprites like they did Street Fighter 2. Yeah, correct. Well, they might have done the same thing anyway. Because the palette's got to get loaded for the burn sprite to even have it. So for Pocket Fighter EX, I kind of tried to make it look almost like the burn sprite from Street Fighter 2, but also while having like color cycling options. So you see here, they still have the burn body, but you can see the detail on it. And then the fire is just a static frame that flickers behind it, but they get a palette that cycles colors that look like the burning. I thought that was clever. I liked the way that looked. Oh, alright, went out. Put that down. Oh, I messed it up. Oh, he blocked. That one's harder to do now after this update. What did I do wrong? Oh, I didn't generate enough meter. Yeah, you gotta do it like this. There it is. I love that combo. Holy shit, that one's super fun. And it's very practical, actually. If you can get him to the corner with enough time to get that in, because it started around. If he threw a Hadouken, dude, just jump in, boom. Like, you fucking got him dead to rights, you know? Probably should have one frame that's completely black with the character is burned. I don't know why I think that would look better. Practically, when you look at it, it almost kind of comes off that way because of the the contrast between the flickering white. But it's just enough to give you some detail. You don't want the character to also kind of become completely lost, too. You still want the visual read on them. Actually, let's switch to Ken since he's got more in the way of fire, right? I'm still on the fence on how the hell the shock status is supposed to look. Let's change the stage. Let's see. Do I have VSync on? Doesn't feel like it's on. It's feeling weirdly choppy. Sometimes the editor gets weird, but it always works good in release mode. I would do it here. What colors does your dungeon use? They use yellow and purple, essentially. I tried to do I tried to do an effect that looked kind of like Mega Man X in here, hold on. Ryu. But it didn't come out quite as well as I had hoped. Here's one of them. Now, A-Sprite's always a little weird with timing, so it might look a little better like this in-game. That's okay-ish. Let's see, what was this other one I did? Letter B version. Yeah, that one I didn't like. This one didn't feel right to me. Oh, fuck me. This must be the one that I was trying to go with. I'm still not fully satisfied with it, though. Yeah, I think this is the newer version. because it's got the extra bits in it. It's all right. Boneless Ryu. That's the other thing too. There's no bone sprite. But the shock, the flicker's a tad faster. I agree. These are really hard to prototype in A Sprite. This would be, and I think that's why I held off on it, because I wanted to build a palette system that was a little easier to construct variants like this, and then actually try it in engine. I don't think you need the bones because you have the sparks. Yeah, there's that for sure. That's part of it. You do have that bright component on it. But also the shock status should be something that you can use on any animation. So like how the fire status works, you know, how he's flying through the air like that. I think the shock status should have the same opportunity. So that if you hit with a Denjin, you know, they go flying back, right? But I think the shock status should persist even after that moment. So when Ken does, you know, a fire hit, pushes them back with the fire, or like this, that they're still on fire when they're falling. I think the shock status should also have that kind of effect, that it lingers a little bit. Now, it might not be the entire thing, so maybe the maybe this portion is only right in the beginning for the initial bit, but oh, Ryu is, oh, I don't have a Ryu underneath. Okay, hold on. Let me grab a Ryu quick. Where is here? Or is that Ryu 2? What's Ryu 2? Oh, that was a different pose. I must have been testing that one to see different poses on it. Let's say Ryu normal. And we'll put him right here. And we'll get rid of his green teeth. Oh, and make the, yeah, that one alright. And we'll make this linked. So here, actually, let me put him under the other one. Right, so that we'll turn this one on and off. So the idea would be that when you first get hit, you see this. Obviously not in the same time scale. Say maybe 15 frames of that. And then you would see just this potentially after. Maybe there'll be another palette effect for this, but I think you should see the big spark and then you should see the little sparks after. That's what I was thinking. Something like that might be interesting. So when you get hit, you'll see some residual arcing of electricity after the big shock. So like when you first get hit, it's got the big shock. But as you get knocked back, you'll get the little arcing effects off your character. I think that would be cool. That's what I was thinking about. But in order to make that happen, I have to change a lot of stuff in the code. I've been kind of, I was working on it for a little bit, but I kind of had to set it aside to prioritize some other stuff. And I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted it to work. I have a pretty good idea of how I want it to work now in the code, but the other problem is I don't know how to make it happen yet the way that I want it. But yeah, Denjins would be cool. So just imagine he gets hit, and right here, he's doing the full sparking, spark, spark, spark. And then like around here, now it's just the arcing that's going on. Something like that. Oh, especially since you can charge it, right? So imagine big spark, big spark, big spark, big spark, all through here, big spark, big spark, big spark, big spark, and then here, now he starts just arcing as he falls back down. I think that would be really neat. I think it'd be really cool. I think it would look really dynamic too, because it's not just the same thing all the time. Like with the fire, it's kind of the same sprite. I'd like to animate it at some point though. But I won't know for sure how it will look until I do it. So it's all kind of speculative, you know, based on that. Showing bones would give a stronger contrast inside the silhouette of the character. It would, but then I'd have to do a lot of work to make that like work in the animation system. I'm not even sure how I would get that to work. I think I'd just have to, I don't know. The problem would be that any damage animation can be played off of these things. So every damage animation would have to have an alternate. They would have to know to call that instead. And then I'd have to make sure that they were actually in sync. If I changed one version of the animation, the other one has to change. I don't know. That's kind of what I was hoping, that I could just get away with some palette effects. Because juggling all that can be quite a pain. The way that Street Fighter does it is that animations that lead to shock, they're a specific damage state, and they cannot be applied generally to anything else. So if for some reason Ryu got an electric DP and hit Ken like that, like Ken's got the fire one, what they would do, they would just make it shock you and you'd just fall on the ground. Like, it wouldn't even work right. Like, they don't. And I'm talking like Third Strike. It was just its own damage state. Like, it had a very specific animation, and that was the only animation and damage reaction that you could get out of it. Same thing with Blanca in Alpha 3. In fact, what they do is they just make the character stand still and they show the bone animation, and that's it. They never used it for any kind of general purpose. And I think part of the problem was because they'd have to reanimate every single damage state with the bones showing. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, I guess I didn't want to do that. And I can understand why, you know? So I don't know about that one. That one's potentially a little fishy. That's what I was hoping that, I think that's what the other test was for. This one, if I did this, it's not bones, but the contrast is high enough that maybe it would work. Obviously, it's like way too fast. I have to slow these down a bit maybe, but let's see, just 17, we'll do 33. Something more like that. Does that give you kind of the illusion of the bone, of the effect that the bones gave? You know what I mean? I think that's what I was trying to test with this version. I was trying to get the bone look without having to draw the bones. Less bone, more X-ray. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Isn't the X-ray view kind of like the bone view? I don't know. It makes the shock look a bit more powerful. And yeah, it doesn't have any of the arcing here, and you know, the color could be up for debate. Like, you know, I don't know. That one just has to be dark blue, but it certainly has a flow to it. Because you end up with this, and then he like starts kind of glowing in a way, and then that sparks out into energy. And then you recycle it from there. It's almost like the energy is beaming out through the outlines, and then it explodes outwards. And then leaves Ryu back there. That'll work, just needs a timing tweak on the cycle. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then, you know, include the arcing, you know, from that point, and it might be alright. I really like the Mega Man X look to it, though. As soon as I was thinking about the shock animation, I was like, oh shit, Mega Man X would be really good here. Like, I don't know, it's just got that classic Capcom vibe to it. The only problem is that, you know, if the character's in a different pose, it won't come off the same way, for sure. But I don't know. I could maybe make a couple different ones, and then the animation can select the one that's most appropriate for the current pose. I've got to make the animation also offset them a bit better, because if you've noticed in here, it's alright in this pose. That's alright. That pose looks okay. That pose looks okay. But once you're here, see, it's kind of off. Like, I feel like it should be a little lower or something. And the reason for that is it's actually following the character's base position, which does get regulated throughout the arc. Yeah, like this one. This doesn't look right, right? I mean, you would expect it to be a little bit down. The backing, the fire sprite should be a little lower here. Kind of sort of engulf them. So I need to have the animation be able to adjust that. Now that's easy. That's an easy process to do. I can just adjust the position of the object there. But it needs to be more intelligent than it actually is right now. It definitely doesn't have the chops to do that flashing animation for the electricity. Like, it just flat out won't work in the system that we've got going on right now. Not to the degree that I want it. The effects are not very autonomous, is part of the problem. And a lot of their, like, effects are built in, hard-coded into the character code itself, and it should never be like that. I didn't really think it through all the way, but every single palette effect that you see here, from the EX palette effect and the fire palette effect and everything, the character controllers are hard-coded to react to these specific situations, and they cannot be customized. So, I'm having problems where it's like, okay, it does fire damage, right? Well, what about Iori's fire is purple, so how do I send that message? You know, and what I mean by, like, where it's hard-coded, where's hitboxes for... Here, let's look at Ken. Ken's got a lot of fire, right? So, if we do the Shoryuken, that's Shinryuken. Well, it still causes fire, right? Down here, there's just a flag that says fire damage, and that's what actually activates the effect. And this is just hard-coded into here. And I need to make a system that's a bit more flexible than this. You know, maybe I want two effects at the same time. I should have some kind of, like, you know, extra effect list, and then you can just add as many things to it as you want. And do it that way. Or maybe it's part of the... Maybe it's part of the hit spark setting. Whatever the case may be, right now it's not good. It's not very expandable. It's not very friendly to edit. I want to be able, when I put Iori in, I want to be able to just like add like an object reference to it and be like, yeah, okay, that just activates this. And then the next one I could just say, okay, I want the shock damage. I'm going to create the effect. I'm going to put it on Ryu, and I'm going to create an object that you call to activate it. And then just attach that to whatever hit I want it to be. Instead of using a hard-coded relay, and it's a pain in the ass, and it's a lot of work to maintain a hard-coded thing like that, and it's just not very flexible. So until I get that sorted out, I'm going to have to think about that. Definitely got to get it sorted out before Iori's here. I mean, it doesn't look too weird to like not have the shock here. I'm kind of used to it not being there, but I definitely still want it. You know what I mean? There's no reason not to have that kind of effect in the game. I think it absolutely needs to be there. Oh, and for Ryu too, when he's charging it up, you could do something similar there too. What I want to happen here, specifically for Ryu, is, let's see, down, down, forward, forward, and punch. Here, see there's a little arc? I want every time there's an arc, I want him to flash a little bit. So that's the first one. And you'll notice every time he gets to the next level of charge, an arc occurs. So here, then he would flash to signify the second level of charge is ready. And then when the third level is ready, here, then he would flash again to show the third level of charge is ready. I want to do something like that, but right now there's no good, reliable mechanism to do that in the code, because it's all hard-coded like that. Ultimately, for palettes, I want to be able to construct a palette hierarchy and say, here's all the effects that this character is going to use for palettes. And I want to be able to just turn them on and off. I just want a giant list that I can create in the editor, and I want to just be able to turn them on and off as I need them. And they'll have some sort of hierarchy order, because you have to be really careful with, does fire damage palette overwrite EX palette? Or what if you're in Power Max mode? You don't want the EX palette to get nullified by Power Max's palette effect. And it doesn't, because it's hard-coded to know better. But I need a solution that's more flexible, that still gives me the same... Yeah, basically an effect stack, exactly. I gotta be really mindful of, you know, EX effect has to go over Power Max, or it's not gonna look right. But Power Max has to go over the base palette of the character, and don't mistake that that's also part of the process. Applying the base palette for the character is part of this process. It has to be part of that stack, because they're all color effects. If I took the color effect off of Ryu, he would just look like black and white. This may not let me do this, because I think it's refreshing the reference all the time, but I want to see if it'll, in runtime, if it'll let me actually take this off. It might not let me do this, though. Palette sprite renderer, right? Yeah. Can I just say none? Nah, it's refreshing it every time. Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, if I pause it, it'll let me take it off, I think. Yeah. But as soon as I frame advance, it's going to be back on, so I guess you can't see it that way. Oh, that's a pain. Oh well. It would have been funny to see him in black and white, but I guess we can't do that. But that's the thing, it keeps re-imprinting that palette stack. It keeps generating a new end result from that palette stack and then applying it to the character every frame. It's just that palette stack is currently hard-coded, so it's very difficult to put something in the mix there. It's not very friendly. So, you know, it's a big pain in the ass. So I want to make like a list that I can reorder and say that like the palettes will go in that specific order. And then you can attach a palette and an effect priority into each character's list. And then when the palette's active, it'll consider that when it goes through its effect stack. And if it's active, it'll take that one into account. And if it's not active, it won't. But the code to make all that work and also be editor friendly is no simple task. But that's why it's been pushed off and pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. I kind of feel like rollback's a little more important at this point, but he definitely needs to get done before Ori gets in. I don't want to have to add another hard-coded reference for Iori's specific purple fire. You know, where Ken has, you know, Ken's fire is different. It's just normal red fire, but you can't use the same marker for both. It won't know how to separate them, so it's a pain in the ass. Big pain in the ass. I gotta figure all that out. But again, it'll open the door to other stuff like, you know, the shock status and whatever else. If Bison ever gets in, like his psycho power, I think in a lot of games it actually does cause like a purple flame effect of some sort. And maybe it'll be different than Iori's. Maybe it won't look the same as Iori's. It'll look different because it's psycho power flames. You know what I mean? So then I have to add another hard-coded reference for that? It's like, no. I gotta do this the better way. And hopefully it'll work out. What I'm hoping is that it'll act a lot like Unity's layer system. So when I go to a character here, and see how they've got a sorting layer? I've got all these layers, right? I've got the stage stuff, you know, and they're all in order. So the ones at the bottom will show up on top, and the ones at the top here will show up at the bottom. So like the background and stuff, of course, on the bottom. But like fighters are in the middle, under fighter and over fighter effects, you know, super lightning, all that stuff. And then you can go to the layers here and you can add one. I can add a new one and I could put it in here. This is what I want to be able to do with my effect stack. Just make a new priority here. A new effect layer, I guess. Palette effect layer, whatever you want to call it. And then just put it in here and then be able to change the order. And then I could use that to assign a specific effect, specific palette effect, to one of those layers, so to speak. And then it should be able to sort it for me. The problem is getting this kind of functionality is, it's more difficult than it looks. We'll leave it at that. It's more difficult than it looks. It looks really simple, but when you think about it, it's like, well, how does it know when something changed? You know, does it reference it by just the name? Does it reference it by ID? How does it serialize that data? How does it know? There's a bit more to it than it looks. I think in the end, I'll probably end up using like scriptable objects as their, I think that'd be the easiest way to do. Instead of just like typing the names, make a scriptable object that is the effect layer itself, go into the editor window that I make for it and just insert it into the stack. If it's not in the stack, then it'll always be processed last in a somewhat randomized order. But if it's in the stack, then it'll be processed, in that order or something like that. Or maybe if it's not in the stack, it won't get processed at all. Maybe it just won't. And then other parts of the program will have to be able to reference that data sheet to figure out, oh yeah, what priority number is this thing? What order is this in the stack? I guess that's a simple explanation of what I'm trying to go for. And at least that would probably track all right. The only problem is that does leave room for human error of, oops, I forgot to put it in the stack and now it doesn't appear. Why is that? Or, some other shit like that. I try to make it as painless for myself as possible. Look, I'm easily confused here, alright? I can't be confusing myself and also getting confused with everything else. I gotta cut down on that, right? Or I'll be chasing an issue for an hour only to realize that it's like, oh yeah, that's just not how that works. Or you forgot to check mark one thing and now the whole thing breaks. I don't know, we'll see. I still think it's probably the easiest way to go. Whatever, man. Alright. You know what? It's 12 and I'm dying on the vine here. My brain's mush today. So you know what? I think we'll wrap it up here. As I sit here and ramble about effect stacks. Everybody's fucking gone now. Everybody's like, yeah, we're out of here. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Whatever. Anyway, it was a fun day. We had fun. We talked about JoJo and all that, so that's fine. It's a win in my book. And you got to see the interpolation, and we got to mold about Terry. So. Let's see, we've got coming up. We're here for the rambling. Well, that's good because you're gonna get a lot of rambling. Hey, I'll actually be here Thursday because it's not Thanksgiving anymore. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah. So, if you don't know, upcoming, I am going to be off for a week. Maybe a week and a day. It depends. I don't know. I don't remember exactly when the flight is coming and going, but I'm out of here. I'm not going to even be here. So that's going to happen on... Yeah, the next Thursday, the 9th, might be the last stream before that break. I'm definitely not going to be here Friday. And maybe I'll be here Thursday night. And then, I gotta scroll the calendar down here to see the rest. And I'm going to be out until at least next Friday after that. Or maybe Saturday? I can't remember what the exact schedule is. But just, you're not going to see me that next week. So that, after the 9th, that Sunday stream's not going to be there. The Monday stream's not going to be there. The Thursday stream's not going to be there. And maybe, I think I'll be okay to do the Sunday after that. But that whole week there, I'm not even going to be in town. Baby, I'm out of here. I won't even have my equipment, so you can't even guilt me into it. How about that? I'm gone. A little Christmas vacation for me. Cause see, now that I moved to Kentucky, I haven't seen the people in New York in a while. Maybe because the world's been fucking burning. Things like that kind of put a whole damper on the whole traveling thing, right? Yeah, so I'm rectifying that, and so for December, it's like a happy December Christmas visit. So I get to go back to New York and see how everybody's doing, and I'm there for the week. So you ain't seeing me anyway. I want to give an extra special thanks to the patrons here who keep things running, help me dedicate more time to doing stuff like this, help me pay for Photoshop, you thieves. Actually, Photoshop's not bad, it's only like 10 bucks a month. I don't know, I guess that's kind of high, but I do use it a lot, so I still pay it. It's fine. Discord, we boosted Discord server, streaming fees, there's fees for doing that. You know, the multi-platform streaming, it all helps. It all goes to paying for that stuff, and it helps me again to dedicate more time to doing this kind of stuff. So, special shout out to Alex Smith, Mugen, AJ, Angel, Wake and Dumper, Bryce Noglingam, Cameron Weil, Garen Johnson, Mike Cruz, Taryn Williams, Variant X07360. Alex D, Ben K, D Money 107, LD Walker, Miles Griffin, and Omega Kyo. Thank you guys super very much. And if you too would love to be a patron, I'd be happy to have you. There's the link. Check it out. You can get advanced builds and stuff. PFAX is kind of on a vacation from that because the builds are so like broken right now that they don't run properly. I've been saying for a long time about how eventually we're gonna run into a problem updating Unity, and I actually found it. Release builds don't work anymore. You want to see what happens when you try to build a release build? It finally happened. We finally broke it by updating Unity. Let's see, where is it this one? Is this the one that doesn't work? There you go. How about that? Perfectly playable. And I really don't know what's wrong with it. I know why it's happening, but I don't know why it's really happening, I guess, if that makes any sense. They changed something with the way that the resolution information is passed to the game. And the game gets it, and it's like, I don't know what this is. There are error messages, sort of, but I'm only getting error messages from my code that's kind of like, yo, what the fuck's going on? I didn't get the data that I was expecting. And yeah, it's weird. Part of the, I had to break that system to even get it to run in the editor. It would run once. And then when you tried to replay it in the editor, it would just bomb. You would get this. It would just be errors, and it would just be nothing. And I'm really not sure what's wrong. So when the resolution information is passed to the game, because I'll request it when the game starts, I'll be like, hey, what is the current size of the window? Are you in full screen mode? You know, all that information. And it gets back garbage data when it asks for that, and it's really weird. And then my system's like, yeah, a resolution of 0x0, that doesn't work for me. I don't know what to do now. And then it just doesn't do anything, and then you get this. So I really don't know what changed. Something happened. It's very possible it's a glitch. And maybe, you know, they're aware of it. Maybe they're trying to fix it. Maybe the next update will fix it. I don't know. Right now, I'm not too concerned about it because it's the build's so broken that I'm not pushing out, you know, prototype builds anyway. So I'll let it ride for now. And if Unity fixes it, cool. And if Unity doesn't fix it, then I'll figure out something at that point in time. Like it to really exemplify like how broken some of this stuff is. I don't know if I've showed this one on stream before. You can't play more than one round. Training mode works, right? But as soon as you get out of training mode, it no go. So let's see. Where is... Yeah, health regeneration. How about we turn health regeneration off and you'll see what happens. There you go. You want to play that build? You get one round, and only one round. You don't want to play that build. That build no good. Yeah, and it's full fucked too. Even if you try to reset training mode, it's full fucked. It just, everything's broken. I know why it's happening that way, because the code that ends the round doesn't exist anymore. I had to reprogram it for rollback, and that part's not done yet. So you get one round and one round only, no matter what mode you're in. That's it, and that's it. It's a soft lock. You're screwed. You can't. Can you pull out the menu? No, you can't even pull out the menu. It's busted. It still thinks the round has ended. Is essentially what happened, and it doesn't know what else to do. So there you go. That is why builds for Pocket Fighter EX are on hiatus. There you go. Set it back to recharge. The same thing if a timeout occurs, because you're thinking like, oh, well, that's a debug setting though, right? Yeah, but if you let the timer expire, it will also die. So we got, actually, is it broken? Is the timer broken? I don't see the timer. Huh. Well, let's wait 30 seconds and see what happens. Maybe I broke that too. I don't know. You get the idea though. Shit's busted. I guess you couldn't play it anyway because the screen's just black. I don't know. I think it's been 30 seconds. So yeah, alright. So the timer's busted now too. That's fucking great. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Yeah, you want to see it when all the deterministic stuff is working and net play is in place. And until then, it's just kind of like, okay, well. Yeah, the timer's definitely broken. Yeah, it doesn't even show up. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. There's so much shit's broken. Oh, well, I'm lucky the damn thing's even playable. So, alright, that's pretty much it. I'm getting out of here. Thanks everybody so much for hanging out, sticking with me here. We'll get there eventually. This is rollback's a goddamn nightmare. It's not like, at this point, it's not even a difficulty factor. It's just so much work. Especially just to make like Unity do what I need it to do. And to do it quick enough so that it actually works in a real rollback situation. Well, you've heard that 100 times already, so you know the drill. It's just taking a while. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'll see you guys Thursday. We'll actually have the Thursday stream this time. So that's pretty much it. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to work on then, but it'll be something. Maybe Tim will badger me into doing more platforming code. We made some strides in it, but it's not ready just yet. So, alright, well anyway. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time. Scrub out.